Anthony are no strangers to scandal. Opie and Anthony on satellite radio. Those hosts, Anthony Cumia and Greg Opie.
Controversial team.
Comment profanity linked to Opie and Anthony.
Opie and Anthony apologizing for yet another raunchy gag. Opie and Anthony show. Opie and Anthony.
Is this the last straw for the raunchy radio duo?
Disturbed and deviant. There's nothing I enjoy more than drunken teen girls.
The history of misogynistic behavior.
The home of incest and anal sex.
I mean, it's crazy. I am a fucking lunatic.
Shocking.
I love it!
What a freak show. What a Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey freak show.
Best of our abilities. We'll try really hard every day.
What are we going to do? Best of our abilities or a good show?
This is what the show is. It's silly, it's stupid, whatever you want to call it. Listen to it and like it or don't.
But enough of this palaver. Let's get the show on the road.
All right, there's controversy. What's going on in the studio this morning here with this, is it a Columbia professor, right?
It's another...
I mean, Jimmy is enraged.
It's fucking...
I didn't read the story in the paper, so I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's not in the paper.
No one did. It's not there.
So, where did you hear about this?
The New York Post online. There's a Columbia University professor, black professor, who was having a race relations argument with a white woman. I think she works at the university.
A discussion at first.
Right.
See, an argument makes it sound like it was violent right from the get-go, or there was some kind of thing. They were having a race relations discussion at a bar, and, things got a little wily, I guess.
He punched the woman in the face.
Yeah.
In the bar?
In the bar, he punched her in the face. At least that's what it said online.
Should be
allegedly, I should say.
Should be appearing on Oprah?
Oh.
What?
Wow.
She could be.
Police busted Lionel McIntyre for assault after his bruised victim, Camille Davis, filed charges.
Yeah.
The professor, who's black, has been engaged in a fiery discussion about white privilege with Davis, who is white, and another male guest who is also white. So two white people were having a discussion with this black professor about white privilege, and he shoved Davis, who's the woman, and then when the other patron and a bar employee tried to break up the shoving match, I guess, so the professor slugged her in the face. And it said the punch was so loud the kitchen workers in the back heard it over the noise. The other patron involved in the dispute said McIntyre took a swing at him after he yelled, "You don't hit a woman."
Yeah.
Black professor punches a white lady in the fucking face, and the other guy yells, "You don't hit a woman." So he punches that guy in the face, or he swings at him. He knocked the glasses right off my face, said the man. And his shoes.
My shoes.
Who would only give his first name is Shannon. The punch came out of nowhere. Mac, who's the black professor, was talking to us about white privilege, and what was I doing about it? Apparently, I wasn't doing enough.
Yeah, this Columbia University. Jesus Christ.
And here's the problem.
Fuck would you send your kids there?
He was arrested, of course.
Outrage?
It's not in the New York Post, and it's not in the Daily News.
No.
Fucking ponderous.
Why isn't that story in the two major papers in New York City?
I think it was a black Columbia professor when she found a noose
Here it is.
in her office, which is, a symbol of black lynchings. It was, I want to say, front page news.
It was close.
It was
right there.
Major news, big story, both New York papers. And then we just read that the New York Police Department is not charging him with a hate crime. Why would you?
Yeah, why?
They're arguing race. Black professor punches white coworker in the face, and he will not be charged with a hate crime.
Based on a racial discussion. He punches her in the face.
Yeah, why are they saying it's not a hate crime?
Because
they give a reason?
Because blacks do not
I understand.
get charged with hate crimes.
I understand that, but what do they
give
say?
A reason? I don't know if they've given a reason. They're charging him with assault. I guarantee what they're going to say is that it was alcohol-fueled and the subject matter didn't marry. They're going to give some bullshit. What the fuck is the NYPD doing?
If it was the other way around, and, they were having a discussion, the same discussion, a white guy punched a black lady in the face, he would so be charged.
Can you imagine a white professor punching a black female coworker in the fucking face in a bar?
Over a racial discussion, yeah.
Over a racial discussion?
Whoa.
It would be headline news.
Yes. Front page, for days on end. There'd be outrage. There'd be calls for him to be fired. Where's the outrage for this guy? I say this guy should be fired. He's a violent man. He obviously showed violent tendencies and should not be a professor at a university. That when you're holding a discussion with somebody about something, you don't resort to punching them in the face.
Is he going to be charged with anything?
Assault.
Oh,
assault?
Please.
And I read some other fucking black scholar wrote an article, one of these other fucking apologists, and he wrote an article. He goes, well, you should never punch anyone, but and then the whole article became about white.
Slap a bitch.
But then the whole article became about white privilege and what it's like in academia to deal with that. Not this guy punched this woman in the face. It's amazing how people apologize for and excuse. And by the way, it's the second case of a racial incident involving a black professor at a major intellectual university, Ivy League school here, which is Harvard, which was the professor in Boston, and Columbia, two of the most prestigious schools in the country. Both guys are arrested. One guy for throwing a punch at a woman and one guy for overreacting with the police. And no one makes a connection. Again, reverse it. Two white professors, both having racial incidents, one with a black female police officer and one punching a black woman in the face. And all the papers will be talking about what's going on in academia, where there's this outrage by white professors against blacks.
Yeah.
That's all you'd fucking hear about.
I can only imagine what kind of shit these universities are pumping out. What kind of shit fucking Americans these universities are pumping out with the likes of this cocksucker fucking teaching them.
Where's the women's groups?
Yeah. Where's a national organization?
Well, this just happened, right?
Yeah, but it happened
it doesn't matter.
2 days ago, I think.
2 days ago?
Yeah,
So
or a day and a half ago, I think.
Just happened a week from now, a month from now. The story's buried on the internet. It's not even in the papers.
Dude, it's on.
This won't get any attention.
It's not
right
on
here.
It's not on the fucking front. They're talking about Madoff's mansion discounted. It's not on any of the major the networks, even Fox and Drudge has it, but they don't even address it. What is this fucking terror? What is this terror of calling a black intellectual a racist?
Yeah.
Or a guy who should be charged with a hate crime because that's obviously what his motivation was.
Exactly.
Where is it? It's like people think we're like broken records, but it drives me nuts because it's like we are fired. If in an argument, you were to say something harsh, I mean, on satellite it'd be a lot harder. But if you were to argue and call a black guy a nigger in an argument and you meant it wasn't being funny, it was being angry.
You're gone.
And he the fucking company would fire you.
Right.
They would say that's uncomfortable work environment, whatever they would call it.
Yeah.
And the fucking media doesn't cover this.
But this guy who was employed at Columbia University punches a woman in the face, and he'll keep his job. He'll keep his job.
How does that not on the first? I can understand. All right, there's other stuff on the front page. How is that not in the first 3 or 4 pages of the New York Post? Or Fat Nick, that white guy in whatever it was, the 3 black guys went to steal the cars at Howard Beach, and the 3 white guys, they were all kind of thugs. They fought and they hit the black guy with a bat who was going there to steal cars.
Yeah.
He literally, how many days was he on the front page? I mean, was it fucking 10 days in a row was front page news?
Yeah, it was on the front page for a while.
The guys were admittedly there to steal cars in the neighborhood, and Fat Nick and his buddies got baseball bats and racked their heads. Crooks lose. Fat guineas score them 1 point.
Yeah.
But it was considered a hate crime, and he went to jail based on the hate crime more than the assault itself. And for that, I mean, you actually have a reason. Hey, these guys are fucking in town robbing, stealing cars.
Just the insanity of the NYPD. Whoever is running the NYPD brass are a bunch of dummies. It's probably not the foot patrol cops. It's not them.
No. It's the higher ups.
But is there anybody who works at NYPD can explain why is this guy not being charged with a fucking hate crime and going to jail for it?
Yeah, let's try to get some NYPD on the phone.
The fucking attorney general has stated that you can't be black and be charged with a hate crime. Let's say have that power base in order to do it. Really?
Is that what he really said?
Yeah.
Is that what Eric Holder said?
Yeah.
That's dummy?
Yeah, he's another fucking asshole.
That's the same guy, by the way, that said this is where black intellectuals, and I would love a black intellectual to call up. Not that I didn't enjoy our show, but he said that America's afraid to have honest racial discussions. I guess they were having one, and look what happened. You motherfucker. Americans are not afraid to have honest racial discussions. White people don't have them. And this is, again, I blame white people for this. Where are white people being angry? Most of these reporters, the people who run the papers are not black. They're not black people squashing this. It's a bunch of fucking privileged, guilty white people.
Exactly.
Let's go to Bill in Arizona. Bill. Hello.
Good evening.
Hey, Bill.
Hey, yeah, there's a movie, Anthony. It's perfect for you. It's called Indoctrinate You. Story out of this particular movie. A kid at one of these Ivy League schools was passing around a bunch of hate-filled slurs and stuff towards a particular individual. He got a slap on the wrist. Now, you have another story where a guy invites a Republican speaker who happens to be black to the school to do a something on his book. The name of the book was Get Off the Plantation. They tried to run this poor kid out of school, expelled him, everything else. The liberal left is insane when it comes to these colleges.
Dude, it's like, I know I want to be wrong. It's like, I don't want to say the same shit over and over again. It's like,
but it just keeps happening.
I can't understand it. I feel like I'm screaming and no sound is coming out. That people don't see. And I don't feel like white people are victims either. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying whites are victims or, we have it tough in this country. I am talking about the fucking media who are the ones who report it, or the NYPD, or not charging this guy with a hate crime. This perception of race and this phoniness. Politically correct people are not being politically correct because they're afraid of being misconstrued as racist. They're politically correct because they're afraid of being exposed as racist. It's a way of building a wall around so you don't slip and say the wrong thing and you don't say what's really on your mind. Politically correct people are really despicable.
People are saying that
unfortunately, the indoctrination, it's even starting with, I can see my 10-year-old right now, the indoctrination's already starting.
Of course,
and eventually what's going to end up happening is when it comes to conservatism, it's going to disappear.
This is not even about conservatism.
Well, Matt, a few people are saying that this story was in the Post and the Times yesterday.
Where is it today? I didn't see it yesterday.
I don't remember seeing it yesterday. I'm just throwing that out there for the discussion, that's all.
If it's in yesterday's Post, if we could have a copy, I would love to see where it was.
Right,
I didn't see it.
Right. Yeah, we should have seen it on one of the, front pages or
one of the important pages.
And where is it today? How is it only in one day?
If this was a white guy, again, we would be having the fired, so completely fired talk right now.
Of course.
But now I'm saying so completely not fired, this guy will be fine.
Let's go to Mike in Buffalo. Mike?
Gentlemen, what's happening this morning?
Hey, Hi, Mike.
All right, listen, hey, Jimmy, by the way, man, you said nigger with absolute perfection. I'm proud of you, man.
Thank you.
Better than Anthony on that tip.
But I wasn't,
man.
I wasn't saying it angry, you know that.
Jimmy, I know that. I love you, man. I'm sorry I missed you in Buffalo, too, by the way, man. But anyway.
What happened? You should have been there.
Yeah, I know. I was getting high somewhere. You know what it's like. but yeah, like I said, man, I think the white guilt of the media and society as a whole has made everyone go into this turtle shell, man, and it's pathetic. You know what I mean? And it's like the Dave Chappelle skit he did about, like, the news really being reported like it should be. You know what I mean? You guys ever seen that one?
No.
Where they were actually saying, like, today two niggers robbed the store. I mean, it's just, we need to get to that basically because people are so shell-shocked about saying something or stepping on somebody's toes. And, it's just pathetic now, man. It really is.
Are you a black man?
No, I'm a brother, man, all day long. I can't stand white people, but nevertheless.
I don't blame you. They're enraging.
No, man, but I mean, it's like that. That's just not how I was raised, man. I mean, I was always taught to just speak the truth, regardless of what it is, man. And like I said, I'm not going to sound like the stereotypical I've got white friends, but I do. And we all come from pretty much the same vibe, man. We understand. It's such a chicken shit society now, man, that, you can't say and do what you really feel because you'll be hung for it.
Do you feel like as a black guy, do you feel there was a call the other day who said that you feel people trying to antagonize you? And as a black guy, do you recognize, I'm white, so I know the way white people think. Do you recognize that as, like, because white people think they're being very slick when they're very politically correct and they say the right thing and they're paternalistic. Do you at least recognize that as a guy who is really a racist and who really is talking down, like, is it that obvious to black people, too, as it is to me?
Well, it's obvious to black people who know what to look for. You know what I mean? It's like anything else, man. I mean, like I said, you can tell. It's, you know, the old adage is not what you say, it's how you say it.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you're observant enough to sit there and go, oh, this white motherfucker's insulting me. You know what I mean? You can pick up on that. Or this black motherfucker's insulting me. Yeah, it is what it is. But nevertheless, yeah, Jimmy, I do feel that. Like when Anthony, whenever he says something, he insults me. But I know that's what he's going for.
You know what? I would rather, you know, it's just something, I base things on, a lot of times on how I would like to be treated. I would so much rather be treated like have somebody come up to me and just say, hey, I fucking, you know, don't like you, then have somebody come up to me and go like, I don't like you and I'm going to coddle you because you really can't take care of yourself and I'm here to help you. I'd rather just have somebody go fuck yourself, you know?
And you try
I mean, and that's the way it should be because you're talking about, I mean, regardless of where black people have come from, I respect the old black people, the old white people from the South. You know what I mean? Because if you tell me you don't like niggas, I know I don't need to be around you. You know what I mean? You know, but you got people.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, straight up. You got people that, like you said, that'll slick you and think they're being PC, but in the whole time they're insulting you, man, if you have your brains and catching on with
looking
that. So,
down on you, yep.
Well, there are people who are afraid. It's a really weird thing, like with the word African American and black. Like, white people very rarely know which one to use when. And I don't think black people really care that much. They just think it's kind of fun to watch us be uncomfortable. We don't know exactly. But there's almost a weird, white people that won't say black or that struggle with it, it's almost like they're afraid that when the word comes out, the way they feel about that word is going to be revealed. It's like,
but the thing is, I'm sorry, Jim, not to interrupt you, but I dig what you're saying. Me personally, I prefer black. I mean, I'm around the same age, me and you, and that's what I was raised up saying. African American shit is crap. Matter of fact, I got an African friend I went to college with, and that dude said they hate the fact that we use African American.
Yeah,
they really don't even consider us, you know, African anymore.
You can't even you can't sound badass with African American. It's like years ago, I'm a proud black man. And it's like that sounds like black power, motherfucker.
Plus, how turned on can I get telling my girlfriend to talk about sucking African American dicks? That's not sexy.
Exactly. If I seen a porn that said white chick, African American dicks,
just wouldn't have the same oomph.
Hey, Mike, where are we at with colored? Where are we at with the word colored, by the way?
Oh, yeah, I had a friend. This is a young dude, man. He's in his maybe his 30s that I work with. He actually said that, man. He goes, yeah, man, we went to the strip club, man, and my buddy was really digging the colored girls. I said, colored girls? Motherfucker, what year is this?
Jesus.
What is this, 1952, motherfucker? Out there?
Well, that's like when we hear honky, we're like, oh my God. What year are we in, man?
That wasn't even a good word when it was being
used.
It
was never that impressive, but still.
It was almost cute, like they were using it on the Jeffersons.
Crack is good.
I never understood the connection. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I think it was Louis C.K. was on your show one time. This is the kind of brother I am. I like funny shit across the board. I don't care if it's about black people, white people. I don't care.
Yeah.
When Louis C.K. said to Patrice, you know how they came up with the word nigger.
That is...
A black guy acting like one. That was the funniest shit I ever heard.
Hey, we ever play that? Yeah, that was one of the. I think that was one of the.
We played it a lot in the back office. But,
why don't we play it? I think that was one of the things that was kind of banned. You know,
we got paranoid. We got paranoid on the show. Well, you know what it was, Mike? The show got paranoid after Imus got dumped. We had and then Hugh Pinero wanted us fired for that Condi Rice thing. We got a little bit paranoid. We had no faith that the company would protect us. And this is before the merger even. We just were afraid that anything racial...
Yeah, so we took out a few things that could be a problem.
Yeah. I heard that one.
We actually like protected ourselves for once.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that's cool. But like I said, man, I respect...
Well, can we play it again now? Mike,
why not?
Hold on, Mike. This hasn't been played in a few...
I was actually not here when I heard about the bit, and I've heard
January 2000.
Yeah, this hasn't been played in 2 years, easily. Easily 2 years.
Where nigger came from, originally? There was some black guy being a nigger. So they called him a nigger.
Jesus.
He was being a real nigger, and somebody said, what a nigger. And that's where it started.
It just was nigger was a feeling.
Yeah.
He's just like, we're gonna just...
Yeah, was this some wordplay?
Just blurting out a sound and it came out like that.
Just the guy was being such a nigger that it fucking made someone say the word.
Fucking Louis, man.
And that was,
there you go, Mike.
Christ.
And Patrice is one of those guys that's like, he's impossible to offend.
Yeah.
But he's also brutal. Like, Patrice is not the black guy that sits in the room and just enjoys the white folks. No. Patrice loves making white people uncomfortable.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no doubt about it. And I'm the same way, man, but it's all done out of fun to me. It's not malicious.
Right.
It's nothing. You know what I mean? I constantly pick on white people in the break room to where I'm the only person in there. So I think it's beautiful that I can chase all the white people away.
But Mike, you said you do it in fun and it's not malicious. That's exactly what Imus was doing. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter. You mean to be having a good time and you're not being malicious. Right. You still get knocked down.
The problem with Imus was, you know, it's such, it's so much discrimination in this country. It was an age discrimination against him. It was just an old white dude thinking he was trying to be hip or some shit, and it fell on his face.
Well, people saw
his face.
But people also saw the cowboy hat, too. They saw the cowboy hat, and that represented something, and they thought, like, oh, this guy's terrible. People didn't even know it.
Well, he does look the part, but the problem the media had was they never really expressed the fact that it was done on a comedy show and meant to entertain people. You know, a lot of people thought he really was trying to be malicious and mean with that with that statement.
To tell you the truth, it was a lot of black girls that were trying to achieve something, and I think they looked at that as a very horrible thing. If he would have said that about some fucking crackhead on the news, it would have gone unnoticed.
Right.
But nobody would have cared.
Yeah. Right. But since it was, you know, these girls on the basketball team trying to achieve something, trying to make something of themselves, they jumped on that shit.
And our problem is, again, it's just an unbalance, and it's a phony unbalance, and it's a phony unbalance or imbalance that would get Opie, Anthony, and myself fired if we said the wrong thing.
Right.
Look, that's what drives you crazy.
Look, we're safe with the Sharon Osbourne thing, but the media does a horrible job with telling people that this type of thing was said on a comedy show.
They don't at all.
They don't acknowledge that. They just say, look at this video of these guys being mean about Susan Boyle or Don Imus being mean about the Rutgers basketball team.
Yeah.
And just not even acknowledging that it was done in, an attempt at humor.
How is this not on simply because the guy's a professor at Columbia University. He's not some bum. He's a professor at one of the most prestigious colleges in the country.
What happened? I missed that story. I was just getting in the car. What happened?
We're talking about...
That's what started
That's what started this whole thing. There was a black professor...
I saw it on my screen. Columbia professor pimp smacked the white bitch or something. What happened?
Smacked the white
They were
bitch.
having a discussion about white privilege, and they were arguing, and I guess she didn't believe. I don't know what the context of the argument was, but they were in a bar. Black professor punches a white coworker in the face, a white woman, and it's simply the NYPD will not charge him with a hate crime, even though it was a racial discussion that caused him to punch her in the face.
Yeah, but that's bad, man, because first of all, every brother knows you smack a white girl open hand. You don't punch.
No, not closed hand, right.
I think that's what the NYPD said. There was something about her keeping the scratch and not giving the money over. So apparently she had been sucking dicks and not handing the amount of money over. That was
no doubt about it. So every brother, regardless from the bum to the professor, got a little pimp in him. I mean, it just happened the way it did. But listen, guys, every time I call, I will say this. I stay on the longest, more than any caller that you guys have on, and I love you for that, man. And listen, you guys have a good one, and I'll check the replay when I get out of work.
All right, Mike. See you later.
Thanks, Mike in Buffalo.
Work?
We just lost a Columbia student, but we do have a cop on the line. Mike in Jersey.
I'm a cop, you idiot.
Hey, Mikey.
Hello, Mike.
Hey, I'm in Jersey, not in New York, so I'm assuming the law is the same. But I think the reason why they're not charging him with a hate crime is because it was based on an argument. The fight was based on an argument. Not this. I know it's fucking based. The argument was based on race, but he didn't hit her because she was white, is what they're going to say. It was that they were having an argument, and the argument led to him hitting her. It had nothing to do with her being white. It just had to do with her disagreeing with him.
You know what, though? So quickly to assume that it isn't a hate crime.
Right.
Yet, if it was reversed, in the same situation, they're just arguing about race. The guy, guaranteed if it was a white guy hitting a black woman in the face over a race relations discussion, he would be, at least they would be investigating it for a hate crime. They would be looking into it at the very least.
Yeah, you're probably right. And you know what, though? A lot of times the prosecutor will determine that sometimes the cops will just charge with assault, and then the prosecutor will determine that it was a race crime. They'll add those charges on later, but I don't foresee that happening. But I also heard that the whole fight wasn't even necessarily caused on the race argument. It turns out she was wearing a hat indoors, and he was just trying to help her remove it.
But again, this is that fucking. I really don't blame black people for being disgusted with whites in general, because I'm with you.
Why?
Because this is that it's a fucking subtle arrogance of, well, when a black does something, it's just as basic as you think it is. Like, if he robs, it's for this. If he does this, it's for that. It's when white people always have the other motive. I'm telling you, that is an implied intelligence. It's an implied ulterior motive. It's an implied subtlety. Black people are never given the credit for having that type of a thought process by fucking whites. It's a really...
Not by me.
It's such a fucking subtle form of being racist and elitist. To not think that was a racial incident. To just think that white people don't want to acknowledge that black people, you know what, don't fucking like us sometimes.
Look, I acknowledge it, and I think a lot of other people do, but I see your argument, and I know it would be infuriating, but it does not fucking merit a punch in the fucking face.
No. Well,
it merits
of course not.
Further discussion. Maybe some of these leaders that do nothing but incite racial hatred should step up and talk more openly about this situation. But I'll tell you something. I don't care how disgusted black people are with white people. It doesn't merit the shootings, the rapes, the beatings,
I don't mean
the
that.
fucking... that, to white people, is infuriating.
I might have not made myself clear. What I mean is, like...
You didn't!
Black people who get annoyed at us, like, I'm sitting there watching the fucking sneaky white thinking, and that's the type of shit, even though they don't get annoyed at this particular incident, it is that sneaky... fucking, and it's not even conscious. People aren't doing it to be conscious. It's like, how are they not aware of, like, if a white guy does it, he's got ulterior motives. Because white people are able to look at other white people and go, well, I feel weird about blacks, he must too. But they don't want to realize and recognize that black people, you know what, have a lot of animosity towards white people.
But things are changing so quickly these days, especially with the election of Obama, that there isn't as much of this white privilege anymore. It seems like now is payback time. Now it's fucking payback time where white people are going to have to pay for shit that went down when most of them weren't alive. And I'm not even talking about slavery.
Right.
I'm talking about the blatant hardcore racism that was going on back in the 50s, 60s. It's payback time now, it seems. Instead of just looking and going, wow, look at how far we've come with our race after so many years of just being downtrodden, put down in this country. Instead of looking at it that way, it's looked at like, well, it's payback time, motherfucker. I'm going to have a race argument and punch her in the face. I'm going to fucking take this white couple that's out on a date and cut the guy's penis off and stick it in his mouth and rape the girl and cut her tits off. I'm going to beat this young white boy that's been bullied in school over the head and stomp his head until he's dead in the street. His mother is now left. It was an only child. He's dead. It's astounding that it doesn't take place in the forum of discussion. It takes place in sheer and utter fucking savage violence.
It's, I'll play devil's advocate. I wouldn't, if I was black or any...
Oh, yeah.
Right.
He punched my wig off in a bar. Talking about white privilege. We had it as the angels. If I was black, I wouldn't want to hear that you guys are doing better thing either. Like, it's, I look at it like, if it's this enraging just to see the phoniness of the way the media handles it, and the phoniness of the way hate crimes are charged, to have it reversed, and to have lived through 400 years, that shit must be fucking... I'm not...
No one lived through 400
fucking
years of it.
But you know what I'm talking about. I'm just saying it's got to be...
as a culture.
It's got to be enraging. If it's this annoying, just watching it not be reported properly, I'm not excusing the guy punching her in the face at all. I'm only saying, if I was black, I wouldn't want to hear that you guys are doing better. That wouldn't be good enough. I wouldn't want to fucking...
You know what it is? You don't have to hear it. Look around. I would be infuriated, too, if someone came up and patted you on the back and goes, look how better things are. But apparently no one's fucking noticing it. I think the black community ought to look around and see how much has changed over a point. It's like if you start out your life, let's say, the whole 400 years is the period of one person's life. And they start out in this life, and their life sucks a fucking ass. It really does suck. And then later on in life, you start getting better, and you get a better job, and you're making a lot more money, you're more comfortable, things are going better, and all you do is sit there and say, well, I want the next level, motherfucker. I'm not happy where I am. Instead of looking back at what you were, looking where you are and going, wow, shit has changed.
How am I arguing?
We really have a good power base.
How am I arguing the other side? All right, let's just say that instead of 400 years, let's make it realistic, 40 years. Let's just say, 10 years for every 100.
Understood.
And let's just say that for the first 40 years, it's one way. And then when you turn 40, things get better, and you're 43 now.
It isn't that much of a percentage. I don't think it's 40 and then 4. And the 400 years of oppression, I mean, come on. Let's knock that shit off. I'll fucking take the Jim Crow, all that blatant racism that went on, post-Civil War, shit like that. But I'm not going to eat the entire fucking slave trade of 400 years for the white man as we sit here in our fucking 40s. You know, I mean, it's time to look around at this country. Look at this fucking this freight train of diversity that is plowing over white society, by the way. Some people say it's good. Some people say it's bad. I'm not even going to make that judgment. I'm saying it's happening. Whatever it is, good or bad or indifferent, it's happening. A freight train of diversity is plowing over the culture that built America into what it is right now. And personally, I personally don't see it as a good thing. Some people do. But you can't then look at the past and keep dredging that fucking shit up. Enough.
I partially agree. The thing I have a problem with is, or that I can understand from having talked to it, is like, it's not even, it's like, I don't think people consciously, I'm only looking at the way I get so irritated at watching this stuff, like how annoyed that makes me. Right. I know in the other situation, I'd be fucking uncontrollably. And the fact, if blacks are furious or fine. I'm only saying that if you do snap and punch somebody in the face, you gotta take the fucking hit and be charged with a hate crime and go to jail, and the media should cover it.
You're getting no argument from me on that.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
Like, there's got to be a balance in the way. It's almost like there's no way to be extreme either way. Like, people who would, like, the media blackout of it is sickening, and I can't look at it and go, it's in the past, let it go. I can't look at that either because I wouldn't be able to. So there's got to be a fucking balance, and nobody's balanced. It's insanity.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you on that one.
All right,
I gotta agree with you there.
The Columbia student called back. Rob, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Hi, Rob.
I can't agree with you guys more. This whole situation just sickens me. The blatant paternalism of my alma mater, it's insane. It's insane. One thing real quick. When I was I actually graduated from Columbia University in 1997, they had this demonstration to start a Black Studies program at Columbia University. Now, the black students in the school literally shut down the school. They took over Hamilton Hall, they took over Low Library, they took over Butler Library, and all the white administration did was shut the gates, not allow the press in, and just wait until the black students essentially calmed down. So it's an interesting sort of racism in that, it's not blatant. It's not like the racism of the 30s where you literally, lynch somebody, beat somebody over the head, but it's almost, to Jimmy's point, kind of an overreaction to that racism. We go so far the other way where we can't even acknowledge that a black person has committed violence against a white person. Again, I just wanted to call it somebody who has personal experience with Columbia University and, experienced a lot of the good part of it, but there is sort of an institutional brainwashing, if you will, to kind of apologize for it the very best and to allow, rampant, horrendous behavior of, minority people for the sake of the fact that they're, quote unquote, less than us or less than human, which I think is repulsive. And, kudos to your show for, actually having an honest dialogue, an honest, non-racist dialogue that actually moves the conversation forward. When schools like Columbia University, who are graduating the best and brightest, Barack Obama, apparently, graduates from Columbia University, and the administration won't acknowledge that there's reverse racism or blatant racism going on.
Yeah. That's what drives you. What drives you crazy? It's like, 'cause again, it's that fear of exposure, and that's why I was attacking white people, because the media is run by white people. It's not run by black people. It's a bunch of white people afraid of being exposed as who they are. I'm not afraid of being exposed. Like I would love to have whether it's a black intellectual, anybody in here to debate this point.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, I don't think that they have no points to make, but I'm not afraid of being exposed. I'm not afraid I'm going to say something which is going to be an insight into at all. I have no fear that I'm going to say anything exposing, so I'm honest. And I shouldn't be patted on the back. It's just the way people should be.
Yeah.
But this phony, lock myself in a padded room and just pretend it doesn't exist because I'm afraid I'm going to say something that exposes me as a racist. This is the attitude these universities have, and that the media in general has, and the people that go into the media. Why? Because they're fucking pumped out of these universities.
Yeah, that's why I call it the,
But thanks for the call, man.
The new Scarlet Letter.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Take care.
It's the new Scarlet Letter. R, racist. If you got that tag on you, you're done. And it's just got to stop. You have to be able to sit down like we are right here, have an open conversation about race, and have, when Patrice is in here and people say, oh, why does the conversation usually go to race? Because Patrice is so good at discussing his side of it.
Yes.
Honestly. Not this bullshit side of it. And we discuss it honestly, not the white bullshit side of it. And you really kind of can get a feel for that there is a lot of fucking common ground that is just mired in white guilt and blacks with this. And it's funny I said it, and people beat on me all the time for saying this. Entitlement, because entitlement has been used as a word that only goes with white entitlement. I'm talking about present day. There is black entitlement going on right now that is transcending white entitlement based on two different things. We have a history as white society of this entitlement based on a power base, based on the fact that we've been in charge for so long, things like that. The black entitlement is based on nothing but fear of people being called a racist, and it's working. It's working.
And me and Opie one time, this is how, and remember Geraldo was in?
Oh, yeah.
And how fucking crazy he was that I implied that Spanish people didn't learn English as fast as other groups did. I was annoyed. I said all I asked for is that people learn English and respect our kind of culture. That was a rational thing. Oh, and the knee-jerk, and he wasn't expecting to get fucking shit back.
No.
And he's like, oh, that's not true, blah, blah, blah. Me and Oprah walking home that fucking day, and we asked a question. Remember they were building something in your building? We lived next door. And I asked the guy, what are you guys building here? Is this like a new, 5 Spanish guys? Not one of them spoke English. It was like, where the fuck is Geraldo?
You translate for me, Geraldo.
Literally, it was an hour after we had the argument.
I didn't even have to search it out. Coop in Queens has something for you, Aunt. Coop, what's up?
Hey, yo, what's up?
Hey.
Yo, Aunt, you were saying that, for one, black people need to stop looking at their past. First of all, you cannot stop looking at your past because you won't know where you're going. And secondly, how could you say everything we achieved, because everything blacks have quote-unquote achieved in this country, whites have given it to us because out of that, because once blacks started screaming black and I'm proud and we want this, we want that, the first thing whites did, instead of sitting down and talking about all that shit that led up to that moment, y'all immediately legislated white people need to like black people. White people must hire black people. White people must allow them to do their schools and this and that and the third. So what are you saying? We achieved this. We achieved it because of the fear of this fucking country burning down. Instead of being honest and talking, white people said,
"Well, let's be real.
Legislate,
You're 10%. We'd kick your ass. Come on."
Well, whatever the case may be, 10%. I'm not talking numbers here. I'm talking basically what happened, and the fact of the matter is, we haven't got this because we only got this because this is what you've given us.
All right, I'll agree with that. You know something? I will.
Did he
agree
say Jimmy was right?
I will. Yes.
Yeah, he did.
I will agree with your point. That's a good point. I wasn't looking at it that way. It has been legislated that you be given certain things over the past few years, and about forgetting your past. If I said forget it, I didn't mean that. I mean, let's not base your whole lifestyle on the fact that you were brought here, your ancestors, some of them
let me ask you
were brought here as slaves.
All right, so let me ask you this.
Okay.
We have some sense of what happened during slavery, everybody. I'm going to tell you this, though. Black people today are a product of what white people wanted us to be. If you've seen Roots, you talk about Roots enough times, you would know that the moment Kunta Kinte became Toby, he became Toby. That's what the white man wanted. The white man don't want Kunta Kinte.
Well, okay, now, allow me to retort.
Retort.
I guess America was faced with a huge problem after the Emancipation Proclamation, because you can't have a culture that is so different.
But it's a culture that you created. We were our own culture.
No, I mean your own culture. Yeah. We put ourselves in
Africa. Prior to coming over here from Africa, we were our own culture. We were doing us. We was doing our own thing. When we got here, you destroyed families. You took away cultural icons that we had, our drums, blah 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 blah. And you said your name is no longer Shaboom Boom. Your name is now Keith.
I understand. Now, I'm not saying that was right. I'm not saying slavery was right. What I'm saying is we couldn't then make the United States a Zulu in fucking Arizona. It wasn't going to work. So there had to be an assimilation of black people to white society, which was
and what that is you wanting black people
not wanting, and it was the only. It was the only thing to do. It's not what people wanted. What were we then supposed to do? Either send everybody back to Africa, or have them assimilate to the country that was here, the United States, or make your own homeland in the United States where you could then live as tribes and perhaps engage in genocide and hacking people apart with machetes like they are in Africa.
Because that's what we were doing in Africa prior to the...
Well, that's what's going on in Africa now, so count your blessings.
You know what, but we're not talking about Africa. We're talking about our own yard, which is the United States.
All right, then what should have been done post-slavery?
I'm going to tell you exactly. Listen, first of all, after the so-called Emancipation Proclamation, there were many Africans who did go over to Africa. And at the same time, there were many Africans who
Liberia.
stayed here.
What a wonderful
There were many
place.
who stayed here who tried to create their own communities. They tried to do their own, educate themselves. But what happened? It gave birth to people such as the Ku Klux Klan, who instead of these black people wanted to leave white people alone. We went from known as slaves. Let's get the fuck out of here. Leave these crazy crackers alone. We're gonna do us. And what happened? White men started attacking and burning and lynching and murdering these black men.
Yeah, that shit was...
castrating them. What the fuck are you castrating them for?
Let me I'm saying that shit's... You think I'm sitting here saying that shit's right?
Okay,
no.
But why? And you know what? Let me tell you something. I want to tell you how this whole thing, the whole white man, the idea of black men being subservient and obedient to white people is so ingrained to white men, it's so ingrained in your subconscious, is that after the Emancipation Proclamation and the country started moving towards west, what did y'all call yourselves? You called yourselves cowboys. And what is a cow? A cow is an effeminate a female bovine. And what's a boy? A term you used to use to feminize black males. And the fact that you no longer had your fucking little nigga slaves was that you called yourselves cowboys and you started killing buffalo and doing all this other bullshit.
You're getting a little deep there. I think they were just cattle. They were working cattle, so they were called cowboys.
Your name is Coop, right?
Yeah, Coop.
Yes, this discussion that Anthony is having with Coop, this is like when Eric Holder talks about honest racial discussions. This is an honest racial discussion. Absolutely. You're making your points, Ant's making his points. You guys make.
I'm actually an aspiring comic as well.
Oh, okay, then you definitely use this in your work, man.
Funny stuff.
But the point I'm making is like this is the discussion that fucking white liberals are afraid to have.
Absolutely.
It's almost like they're afraid of hearing. Because there's a lot of anger coming from black people about it. And look, I'm not saying I wouldn't be the same way in that situation. But white people are afraid to have that discussion and be wrong on some points and be right on other points. It's like this is what an honest racial discussion sounds like. It's not two guys that want to kill each other. It's two guys arguing from their own yards and seeing things a certain way. And this is what fucking white elitists avoid at all costs. And that's why there's no charge of hate crimes.
This is why I'm such a fan of you guys' show. Like, with everything I've said, I'll be honest with you, I think about racism a lot because racism built this country. I don't give a fuck what you might say. When George Washington and all these other motherfuckers we jerk off to every year was building this country that we are proud of, they were standing on the backs of slaves when they was talking about, the revolutionary. Well, you're familiar with the works of Malcolm X, Jimmy. I'm certain you are. I've heard you speak about Malcolm X. But when this country is fighting for its freedom from Britain, it was enslaving people, and the fact that this isn't discussed is what drives me insane. And this is why this country is going to continue to go the way it's going to go. White people are going to look down at black people. Black people are going to be frustrated with white people, and they're going to keep doing the same thing. And the only thing they're going to give you another Obama and say, no, it's changed, but it hasn't changed because Obama is the president of the same racist system that George Washington and the rest of them created. That's why this country is not going to change. It's going to be the same shit. We're going to be beefing. White people are going to be this, white people are going to be that, and it's going to be the same shit over and over. You don't think
the fact that there is a black president is progress?
Okay, I understand, quote, progress, but the whole thing is Obama is the president of is the president of a system that was built on racism. You understand what I'm saying?
I don't necessarily agree with that because even though maybe the system was built that way,
this country was built around the supremacy of white men.
No, but what I'm saying is this. Every society...
We were the one that built the fucking boats and came over.
If you go
Jesus Christ,
if you go back, Coop, if you go back over any country's history, you're going to find... Hold on, Coop. You're going to find reprehensible... parts of every country's history. To say that the country isn't different now than it was back then is not true. And I don't think Obama's just a figurehead. I don't think Condoleezza Rice or Colin Powell, people, Secretary of State, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, now the President, I don't think that they're just figureheads. I think that they're people that really deserve to be where they are. I mean, some people don't like Obama, they didn't like Bush. But these are not people who are just thrown up there to appease blacks. There are people in real positions of power and real positions of influence in the country. It's just it's a slow process. We as humans live 80 years. None of us are going to live from beginning to middle to end of the process. So whatever part of the fucking process we're in, it's all we see. But we're kind of in the middle of the process right now. 100 years from now, people will look back at this time and go, "Oh, okay."
Well, that's profound, Jimmy.
But I mean, it's the way it is.
I'm not disagreeing with you, but we're not going to get there being dishonest and hiding everything from each other.
I agree. But I don't think that we're being dishonest during this discussion at all.
No, not in this particular discussion, but in general, you say the media, because the media don't want to talk about race. Because you talk about race, you got to talk about everything that's come attached to racism.
The ugly face of racism.
I honestly believe white people are scared to do that.
I agree.
I'll agree with you. Oh, fuck yeah. Coop, now we agree on something. White people are scared shit of black people.
Because they're scared but they're just scared of hearing what he just said and that type of black anger.
Yep.
Because, again, the political correctness is a fear of exposure. It's not a fucking politeness. It's not a genuine caring or respect.
Phony.
It's a fear of all of a sudden you being opened up and being seen for what you are as a racist or as an elitist. And that's what they don't want. All right, thank you, Coop.
Very good, my brother.
Thank you.
I want to go on to Ray in D.C. Ray, what's up, buddy?
Hey, how you doing,
you doesn't have to call him Ray.
I absolutely enjoy your show, fellas. But, obviously you can tell that I'm a brother with my perfect diction and all that good stuff. but guys, here's the thing is that, you talk about how race is, the way that it's reported in the media with this particular incident. But let me give you another side of it, guys. Because, you look at when a black child is taken and raped in an urban community, or you see like a Columbine or something like that, those things don't happen, on the black side of the community. So, guys, it happens on both sides. I mean, the media, you want to say that it's left, it's liberal, it's this, but it happens both ways, gentlemen, and that's the reason why I can understand your frustration. And I think it's good that you all are having these type of conversations where, hey, you know what, you want to be honest. I'd rather have a white dude come up to me and say, I hate you because you're black, rather than be a white dude that comes up to me and, as you said, coddles me, and it's like, oh, well, you're well-spoken, you're articulate.
Right, that's insulting.
It does work the other way, though. You never hear about a missing black child.
That's the truth. You know what?
On TV, ever.
Or even, it's funny.
Or very rare.
Keith
very
Robinson
rare.
did a funny joke when during Desert Storm, or during this war, when the black female soldier, Shauna, whatever her name was, went missing, or had some kind of a thing, and boy, as soon as that white girl came up, and you're right, you really...
They found that white girl.
But the media doesn't. The media doesn't report on missing black children the way they do.
They pretty much stopped the war to find her.
You don't see the same amount of reporting or concern for a missing little black girl, and that's that's the subtle racism of the media, the subtle elitism. That's who they are. They don't deep down think she's as important as a missing white girl.
That's exactly right. I mean, think about this. It's going to be what sells papers. As unfortunate as this incident is, and as that chick got, two-piece right in her face, it's not the thing that's going to sell the papers. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it comes down to, gentlemen.
And to be honest with you, I don't think that I would probably, if I had listened to them, her argument probably would have annoyed me more than his, because she probably would have denied. I guarantee you she threw out, well, I was not a slave. I guarantee you she threw out that annoying argument.
Two Columbia assholes probably both deserve fists in their fucking faces, to tell you the truth.
So, you're exactly right. And I mean, the thing about it is, like, that, I can sit here and I can have discussions, with my white friends and my black friends. And, the one thing that we have to do as black people is to sit there and say, look, guys, it's okay to talk the way that you want to do when I'm not here. And, if you can have those types of honest discussions and know that, yes, I'm a big black man and I'm not going to beat your ass the second that you say something like that, then, we get a chance to understand each other. And that's when we get in that opportunity to be able to say, hey, you know what? I understand where you're coming from. Let me give you a different side. And then you kind of find the common ground. But if you can't do that, and if you can't get to that point to where you're having those honest discussions, it's the same thing as Anthony was talking about before. We're going to be talking about 1960s. We're going to be talking about, the fire hoses coming out on people. I don't want to talk about that shit anymore. I want to talk about where we are from this point and how we move forward. And the only way we're going to be able to do that is to be able to have those honest discussions and say, you know what, I think that's full of shit. Or, I'm tired of being able to live this way. But and once you get to that point, it's better.
It comes out of white people being dishonest, but it also comes out of blacks, too, because when you look at Eric Holder, and you look at the way he's handled race and stuff like that, when he says America needs to have an honest racial discussion, I agree with him 100%. But his concept of a racial discussion is not honest. It is simply a continuation of white people just listening and not being honest at all.
Beers with Obama. That's their racial discussion on race problems. Let's go out to the picnic table and have a couple of beers with Obama and not settle anything with the discussion.
Can you imagine if two white intellectuals from Harvard and fucking Columbia, two of the most prestigious schools on the planet, had racial incidents involving blacks, say 6 months apart, one is as violent as this, and another one as irrationally confrontational with say, all black officers or whatever. Thank God there was a black cop there, or that thing would have blown up a lot worse than it did. People would be questioning the universities in this country. They would say, what is it with these universities where these white intellectuals are looking at African Americans? But because it's the reverse, it's okay, it's tolerated, because white people have no expectations of black people. It's that fucking, that especially in an elitist, sickening world of Columbia and Harvard University.
And they will allow black speakers to come in, and Arab speakers, whatever, come in and just spew racial hate speech, which I don't give a shit. I say whatever the fuck you want to say. Let the people decide. A lot of times people wind up hanging themselves when they open their yaps, like I did yesterday.
Anthony, real quick, keep on talking about like black leaders and everything, and let me give you this little nugget to kind of tuck away. We hate it.
I don't doubt. I know.
We hate.
Believe me, I know. I was going to say though that, but you won't get one of these universities saying, "Let us get the Grand Wizard of the KKK," which is very extreme. How about this? We are inviting David Duke to our school to discuss separatism, race relations in America based on his side of the conversation, which is no more radical than the speakers that they have had that are of different ethnic backgrounds. It's disturbing that it's so one-sided, and they're the little brainwash factories that they're pumping out these liberal fucking shitheads.
And I love the guy named.
Speaking to the choir.
Do you remember?
I hear you.
Do you remember Khalid Muhammad? Not the 9/11 plotter, but he was Farrakhan's second in command, chief lieutenant, whatever. And they eventually had a split because he said such anti-Semitic things about, trashing the Jews. Irrational so. But I like that guy a lot because he was on Donahue one time, and Donahue is such a fucking paternalistic liberal.
Yes.
And Khalid Muhammad sat there, and Donahue wanted to be a white man that was accepted by Khalid Muhammad. He just wanted the nod. That you're and this Khalid Muhammad did not play games. He fucking hated Whitey. Although he lived in
he's so white.
From fucking the hair on his toes is white. And he hated white people, except that he lived in Cliffside Park, I think in a white building, that phony motherfucker.
Oh shit.
But that guy came out and embarrassed him.
Give me my blind and gotta give me my white women. We got all that, man. Trust me, we're on the same page.
But he just didn't. He would not ever, at least that I saw, give in or give that nod to a white apologist. It was like he just refused. He was a radical guy, and he refused to fall for that bullshit, that glossing over, that shellacking that a guy like Donahue wanted to give. It was fucking great. Watch, go YouTube Khalid Muhammad. It's Khalid Muhammad and Donahue. It was from probably about 10 years ago.
All right, let's get a few more calls, and then we got to go to break and get
I
some
got a
other
tinkle.
things. Brian in Baltimore, go ahead. Speed round, though, Brian. Let's go.
Baltimore.
All right, I'll make it quick. I am a teacher in a 99% black school. I am a white teacher. I get to have discussions about race with parents. I get to say things that white people don't get to see because the parents know me. I have children in my classrooms who jump up and down in their seats going, hoo, 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 when they want to answer a question. And I say, I don't call on monkeys. I'm not a racist. That term is not seen as racist by any of my parents. But if a white person came into my school and heard me say that, they would try to have me fired because they themselves can't say something like that. Yeah. And a lot of the stuff that I talk with these parents about, the middle-class black parents that come to the school, and by the way, most of them hate being called African-American because they're not. Yeah. They're black. And when they come in and talk to me, they say things like, we don't like the low-class people that come in here because they feel entitled and they want stuff for free. But the middle class who work for what they have want to just work. They want to just live. They want to just move on. And all this race crap is usually dredged up by the lower class, undereducated people of their group.
What about, though, this is something like, where African-American annoys me, because a lot of times it doesn't apply. If a guy's from France or England, he's not African-American. But what about the argument, this is where it gets sticky, where blacks say, like, all we are is a color. Like, white people, we know we're white, but Opie knows he's Irish, Aunt knows he's Italian, I know I'm Irish, Aunt knows he's...
I'm a mutt.
But you can go back and go, yes, I'm English, Italian, a little Scottish. We kind of, that, you know, we know that's what we are. But when you say to blacks, what are you? They're just like black, and then what? I guess it goes back to Africa. So that was kind of where African American, I think, started, or I forget what it was called in the fucking after.
Again, if you want to be involved in some of these arguments, it'd be great, because once you get to know, once you are the minority, they will talk to you as if you're part of their group. And it isn't just black. You got high yellow. You got to talk to some of them and find out what they mean when they talk about things like this, because they make fun of people that are quote unquote black who aren't black. Just like you guys make fun of Sam. They make fun of people who are, high yellow. They're not black. They make fun of people who are darker than black because black people don't want to date them. They make fun of the black women who buy the hair to try to look white. They make fun of everybody better than we ever could make fun of white people. And it's great to hear and be a part of. And the thing that I love listening to your show, partially because I get to say some of the things you guys say in these groups of black people.
It'll probably bite you in the ass one day.
I'm surprised they haven't fired you yet.
Because black people will realize that you're the white guy who's too comfortable, and then you'll say something that really is fucking vitriolic, and they'll fucking have you drummed out.
We went a few years doing Sex for Sam, too.
You probably work in a very scary school district and no one else wants your job.
Yeah, exactly.
I avoided condoms for a long time, and all of a sudden...
Guys, I've worked in a prison. I've worked in a prison where it was mostly black kids. I've worked in inner city schools, which were schools for kids who have almost all been kicked out of regular schools. I've worked in mostly African-American and mostly lower class, not just African-American, but mostly lower class individuals and the children of those people, and I am comfortable. And the black parents that I work with appreciate how comfortable I am. Not once have any of the people ever accused me of being racist. Of course, I'm never going to say to them, listen, nigga, do this. I'm not going to speak to them that way, but I can speak to them intelligently about what's going on, and I can hear an argument like you guys are having today, and I can actually bring this up with a couple of the parents at the school and say, what do you think about this Columbia professor? And when they start talking about it, we can have an open dialogue about it.
I don't like open dialogues.
Yeah.
They're bad for this country.
All right.
Well, thank you very much, boys. And Chip Jefferson, I love your work.
Thank you very much.
Wow.
Hiya! Every time I come into the fucking room, I do a karate noise.
Please do a
Hiya, guys!
All right. There's a ton more calls, but I think we did it for now because we got a busy show today, man. We got Mary Weiland coming in. And
She white?
She's white. Oh, yeah. White. Used to be married to Scott Weiland.
By the way, I just got to bring up, Danny popped up that Khalid Muhammad thing.
Yeah.
He is the shiniest man I've ever seen in my life.
He refused to let the fucking white devil put the makeup on his head.
Exactly.
And I love his shiny head.
It is amazingly shiny.
Looks like he showered in Vaseline before his Phil Donahue appearance.
He was a shiny man. That guy was fucking radical and a great speaker.
It looks like a Hershey bar on a warm day. It's just very, very shiny.
After the break, the Chimp Attack lady was on Oprah.
God damn.
And we got some of the audio of the appearance. It's unbelievable. Also, a 12-year-old girl that can't stop sneezing. She sneezes what? How many times?
Sorry for this kid.
10,000 a day?
10 to 12,000 times a day or something?
Yep, you got it.
Is there a video of her just sneezing over and over again? Okay, we got to check that out. And Carrie, how do you say her name? The
Pregine?
Pregine was on Larry King, and she got pissed off, and the audio is just amazing. So we got a busy day. Stay there. Chip Attack Lady next. Opie and Anthony and Jim Ross. It was classic. All right, Chip Attack Lady was on Oprah Winfrey yesterday, and I got to tell you, I knew she was going to be on there. So I checked it out. As soon as Oprah Winfrey took the veil off her face and exposed this chimp Attack lady's face, I watched for maybe a minute and went, wow, I finally found my line. I could not watch Chimp Attack Lady on Oprah yesterday.
No,
the face was oozing and pussy, and part of her leg is now this massive thing that is going to be her nose eventually. I'm sure most of us have seen the pictures by now. Seeing the pictures, I could still do that. But to see the video and to see her talk, I actually had to turn the TV off, and I surprised myself because I could watch some stuff. The only thing I can't watch is beheadings. That's always been my line. I tried once, cannot do it, and now I realize I can't look at Chimp Attack lady's face.
She looks like Grumpy.
She looks like one of the seven dwarfs.
I think that's probably surgery, swelling.
Of course.
What a terrible fucking mess that poor lady.
I think it's going to get better as time goes by, but it's still just horrific.
She needs a complete face transplant to even maybe be presentable in public without frightening the living fuck out of everybody.
Yeah.
She is so messed up. There's nothing left. There's nothing left except one useless eye socket with an eyelid.
But there's a whole... I feel bad. The worst part is that they had to take her eyes because of infection. I mean, that's the fucking most horrible part.
Now, were the eyes damaged in the attack?
I'm sure they were.
Must have been. You see her
you got to think they had to be. But maybe they had some hope that she could see again, and then the infection, happened, and they had to take her eyes. But she has no mouth. They had to, make a mouth for her.
My kid.
The nose, she can't breathe out of it. It's a big mass from her leg.
Yeah, they took
Oprah,
a bunch of skin from her leg and slapped it in the middle of her face.
Oprah does not have a heart.
Sure she does. Surrounded by fat. Did she stop eating already? Jesus, this is Oprah 1991. Oh.
She has no emotion. The more I watch Oprah, because I've been watching a little more lately, because she's been having some interesting people on there, she doesn't have emotion.
She knows
this Oprah.
She knows what's going to get the talk. Look at her. Look at what everyone is fucking talking about today.
This is it. This is the #1 story of the day. Chimp Attack ladies.
Oh.
So the boys got the audio because I wanted to sit through this interview, but I couldn't look at this woman. And then she has no hands on top of it.
She has one hands
thumb.
gone?
Well, she has one thumb left, which Oprah grabbed to thank her for coming to the interview.
She shook her right thumb because that's all she has left. Her left hand is completely gone. Her right hand has just a thumb.
And did you see pictures of this woman?
God damn.
Before? I mean, she's 57, but younger pictures, she was
an average woman, right?
More than average.
But I mean, she just looked normal and healthy,
So,
regular broad.
She's worse than transplant lady.
Oh, dude.
A transplant face lady. She's worse.
Snap on nose guy.
Way worse than that guy, and that was pretty horrific to watch.
And he had two guys after him.
Yeah.
Two chimps.
Sure.
She should have been dead. There's no fucking way this woman should have lived through that with that kind of damage.
Well, let's get into some of this audio courtesy of the Oprah Winfrey Show.
So when you awakened in the hospital and they had to tell you what had happened to you, what did you think?
I don't think I kept grasping what they were saying.
And once you realized, when you fully came to understand what had happened to you, because did they explain to you that you had been in this horrifying experience where Travis had tried to certainly kill you, some people say even tried to eat you? Were you able to comprehend that at all?
I don't really know when I understood all of that, because I don't ask a whole lot about all my injuries. But I guess somewhere along the line that they told me, Travis had attacked me, and I could figure that out for myself, how dangerous he was.
When did the doctors? When did they tell you you look like a character from Fraggle Rock?
Her eyes being gone is the worst, man. It's like, even after a face transplant, she won't be able to fucking see.
Right.
We gotta figure the eyes out. Can we get new eyes?
I know, that's a
Can we
tough
figure that out, please?
They have hearing aids and shit like that, but boy, once those eyes are gone, you're fucked.
But I want to know, I mean, the chimp obviously was gnawing at her eyes and stuff, but were they able to see still?
They had to take them out for infection.
No, I understand that. So
I guess they were at least still there, and then they get infected.
How much damage did the chimp do to the eyes initially?
I'm guessing the nails dug in them.
Because the point is, I mean, you would think, well, they're thinking, okay, at least she'll have her eyes so she could see. Because I think that's one of the worst nightmares, losing your eyes over anything, right?
Shit.
I mean, it would suck to lose your hearing. It would suck to lose your limbs. I'd rather lose my legs than my arms.
Sure.
I'd rather lose my my hearing than my eyes.
I'd rather lose.
So I'm wondering, did she at least was going to be able to see eventually, and then this unfortunate infection, took her eyes?
I don't know, man. She's such a fucking mess. It's like this again. She should be dead.
Would you want to live?
Absolutely not. I wouldn't want to live through an injury, but a horrific. It's like everything that you could try to go, at least. Her fucking hands are gone.
Yeah, so what do you do?
Her eyes are gone.
How do you, communicate? You know what I mean? How do you do anything without your hands and without your eyes?
There are people that say they'd rather be blind than deaf. For some I don't know which I would choose, but there are a lot of people that say they'd rather be blind than deaf because they say without the hearing, you lose.
Fucking no.
You can't communicate.
There's closed captions.
I mean, with
captions.
I don't know.
Hell fucking no.
I'd probably choose deafness, too.
Hell yeah. And we need our ears for our livelihood.
God damn. That is so fucking heinous.
Let's continue. So Oprah asked Charlotte if she's aware of her injuries, like that she has no hands and eyes and all that.
Are you aware of the extent of your injuries?
Not all the way. Because it's like less for me to worry about if I don't know.
But you're aware, obviously, that you don't have the use of your hands. So I understand when the paramedics arrived on the scene, your hands, they say, look like they had been through a shredder, and they were able to reattach your thumb to your right hand. Is it true that you just realized, first of all, you woke up and you weren't able to see? That must have been horrifying for you.
Well, I do remember I kept saying that, one of these days I'm going to see, and then the doctors say, no, you're never going to see again. I'm like, I don't know, they don't know what they're talking about. But the eye doctor came in a couple weeks ago and said that it's a shame they had to remove my eyes, and that's when I really knew my eyes were not there. And I said, no wonder why they said I'd never see.
Because you don't have eyes.
Good one.
Yeah, good
nice
one.
Nice to reiterate.
That's a very good.
Because you don't have. Look at her arm is just gone.
It's just unbelievable. And why is Oprah interviewing her?
Because it's Oprah.
It's compelling. It's what's one we all want to see. But she took off the mask.
Is it much different than a sideshow, though? Is it a little better because Oprah's asking serious questions?
It's different than a sideshow because Oprah is being compassionate, and it's not to mock the woman or to humiliate her. It really is because it was a national story, and we want to see how she's doing. But the fact is, there is a fucking morbid voyeurism. We don't need to see her. I want to see her. I'm not going to lie, but we don't need to see her.
Right.
It does society no good. We're not going to learn anything from it.
Right.
A violent chimp attack is, a very rare occasion. We're not going to learn anything from it. To show an aborted fetus or a guy who shoots himself, hey, do you want to, that's different.
Right.
This, what are we going to learn from?
Right.
So it's pure voyeurism.
Yeah, let me say hi to Pete in Jersey. Pete.
Hey, guys, morning.
Good morning, Pete.
Not to be mean or anything, but I looked at the first picture I Googled, and she looks like Alice the Goon from the Popeye commercial. That huge nose.
Oh, the Goon. Yeah, the Goon. There are just, like, horrid cartoon characters she looks like.
Wow, very good.
God, it's just
That's very
awful,
good.
man.
Let's say hi.
I want to see photos, by the way, right after the attack. I know they exist. They will never release them, but I would love to see photos right after the attack or video after the attack.
That's going to be part of the extras.
On the DVD?
Yeah. Ed in Boston. Ed?
Hey, boys.
Hey.
Oprah, I was wondering if you saw the part of the clip where Oprah took a tissue and dabbed pus off her face.
Ed, I'm embarrassed to say that I actually turned the fucking channel. And I was sitting there, like, ready to watch this, especially for the radio show, and I love this type of stuff. I'm not going to lie to you. It was so horrific, I had to change the channel.
She dabbed her eye socket wound.
With a tissue?
Tissue. Yeah.
It was set up, though. You could kind of tell Oprah really didn't want to do it, but they tried to humanize her, I guess. I don't know.
It runs because it drips and it runs down her cheek into the hole that they made for her mouth. So she's like,
she had a little. It was like she had a little barbecue sauce on the side of her lip.
Oh, God. Oh, my God.
Let me see it.
You know that she walks around the hospital with the veil because she doesn't want to horrify the rest of the people in the
She had
hospital.
a longer veil.
Yeah, Ed,
though.
I didn't see that, man. That's
check it out.
All right,
Poor
thank
lady,
you, sir.
man.
She should just become a Muslim.
Wear
that getup.
All right, let's go to the next clip. We got Oprah.
God, Oprah got
let's just
fucking
play the
fat
clip.
again.
Yeah, she's really big. She is big.
What?
Oh, I thought you were saying something.
No, she works here, but want to comment on it.
Well, she knows she got fat. They had to bring her up in the freight elevator when she was here. She got fat. A shock.
We'll just leave that one on.
So why do you wear the veil?
What do you think, asshole?
So I don't scare people, and sometimes other people might insult me. So I
Who would
figured
insult
maybe
this
it's
lady?
easier I just walk around
Obviously, but I mean, what?
Covered up.
Not to
Would
her
you
wreck.
mind lifting the veil?
Oh, no,
We wouldn't
no.
insult her to
so we
her
can
wreck.
see? We'll be back in a moment.
We'll be back, yeah.
All right.
Who the fuck is that sick that would insult her to her
We'll
face?
be back, and then they have the subtle little piano
well,
music,
God,
the Oprah piano music.
Are they going to
That's
play circus music?
He really should.
Oh, my God.
You think there'd be a problem with that if Oprah
bet.
did that? You think the media would be all over that today?
Yes, she's fantastic, and yes, so, okay, take a break, and we'll be right back.
All right, hold on. I'm going to play that last clip using that music. Hold on. Hold on. We might have something. Why don't you start the music? Same clip we just played. It's a little different if you put circus music behind it.
Oh, you want, well...
No, I want...
Oh, the whole clip with the music.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
You know, you got to pump up your interview sometimes.
So why do you wear the veil?
So I don't scare people, and sometimes other people might insult me. So I figured maybe it's easier I just walk around covered up.
Covered up. Would you mind lifting the veil?
Oh, no.
So we can see? We'll be back.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
That's better.
Oh, my God.
Hey, you little maggot! You make me want to vomit!
No.
No.
So I just came back into the studio. What did I miss?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. But I couldn't fucking watch it yesterday, whatever.
No.
Let's say hi to Jimmy James in New Hampshire. Calls a few times a week. What's up, JJ?
Hey, for two things. She sounds like she's got a cold and a face full of Novocaine.
Yeah. Well.
And the second thing is I did get some happy news last night on the internet that she had recently been in touch with Ted Scheckler's eye replacement emporium.
Oh,
yeah.
really?
Wow.
Is that breaking news? Do they have an AP right next to that story?
Well, there's no E after, so that would bring up memories. But you know what? I don't think Oprah's making a mockery of her at all, but there is a voyeurism with it. I mean, it's like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, why is she allowed, again, because the woman wanted to go on, but she's getting ratings from that. She's getting huge coverage from it to just basically show the face
The difference is
of an accident victim.
The difference is you just got to ask serious questions, and they still allow this in our society on our TVs.
Right.
You know, Barnum and Bailey and all that with the sideshows.
It was just, come on in here and take a look at this.
Yeah, it was humiliating.
Well, the sideshow was basically our show. Like, look at this sick fucking thing.
Yeah.
But then you just ask serious questions, and then it goes into mainstream media.
Goes into you're helping.
That's the
somehow.
trick. Yeah, that's the trick.
You're helping. This teaches people to stay the fuck away from giant, monstrous chimpanzees.
No kidding.
We had little Mikey in here, though,
Yeah,
man.
we were
it was so
talking
cute.
Little
We were
Mikey.
talking about little Mikey.
I'd have him back.
He was so cute. But Jimmy put it best. He said, when you picked up like Mikey or held Mikey, he felt like a sack of cement.
It was like his back was all bone with light skin around it. It was literally...
And that's muscle.
It was solid bone and muscle. At his age back then, he could have killed you maybe, but now, a couple years later, that was 2007. And now he could easily kill you.
Yeah, well,
I think he could have done some damage.
Oh, of course
back
he could
then.
have.
How does he have such great muscle tone and he doesn't even go to the gym?
It's an odd thing. They're always bouncing around and being happy and fun. He was so cute. He just loved me. We've got to get him back.
And we all waste our time at the gym, and we can't get anywhere near the strength of this fucking Mikey character.
Watching Mikey drinking your water that day was so fucking funny.
And then he was giving it to me.
Yeah, and he was giving it to Jimmy.
And chimps don't share.
It was adorable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But that fucking thing will rip your face off at the drop of a fucking hat.
Not my face.
Well, it would.
Let's go to Vinny in Staten Island. Vinny!
Vincent?
What's up?
Hey.
If she was on more, do you think he would bring the Chimp's house?
Oh, yeah, of course.
I mean, we said that kind of yesterday.
Yeah, of course. Let's say hi to Jeremy in Pennsylvania. Jeremy.
Yeah, I was thinking that she could probably go on tour with Guar and not need a costume.
Jesus.
Oh, my.
I was wondering how long it would take Jimmy to put his dick in it. Frunk it.
All right, well. You think she'll get work in Hollywood, though?
That is worse than any Tom Savini makeup job I've ever seen. Ever.
You got to say this, though.
Oh.
The lady is a mess, but it's like somebody like Oprah interviewing you. At least she does come at it from a very compassionate angle. It's like you don't feel like it's a mockery or...
But you want this humanizing of
Yeah,
her.
I mean, it does make you...
No.
It puts a face on it, quote unquote, like...
Well...
It does make her a human being and not just a fucking morbid news story.
I kind of disagree because the lady started the interview with the veil on. Okay, so everybody wants to see this woman's
big
face.
reveal.
So Oprah does the big reveal. The right thing would have been do the big reveal for a minute or two, maybe a minute, and then put the fucking veil back on the lady's face for the rest of the interview.
Help us out a little.
Help us out.
So we can listen to what she has to say and not have to look.
But I think it was overdone. A quick peek was plenty, trust me. Like I said, I had to change the channel. And then Oprah should have done the right thing and given her dignity back, whatever she has of that left, and put the veil back on.
She don't know what she looks like, so she's kind of like, she probably, if she knew what she looked like, I bet she would never let them
agree
take
to that
fucking veil
she
off.
Because
she could conjure up the worst thing she's ever seen as far as facial deformities, and it wouldn't be as bad as that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so much swelling from the surgery is probably the main problem.
Of course. It's still going to be
And she's going to have a face transplant. They're going to... My nightmare is that she can't breathe because, the septum was probably fucked up.
She's got a hole in her
I would
throat.
want to die. I really would want to die.
Yeah, that wouldn't be fun. Let's say hi to Larry King. Larry!
Oh, Larry.
Gentlemen, rape. Did I do that right, Anthony?
Well, Larry King, sure.
I mean, I
don't know what that means.
Fuck. Oh, never mind. Excuse me. When the monkey was attacking you, ripping your face off, ripping off your hands, what did you do with the groceries?
The grocery line.
You should have just went with that right away.
Yeah.
It would have killed. Thank you, Larry. Oprah, we got more music for the interview? Maybe we should... You got another song we could play? All right.
Benny Hill music's always fun.
Well, let's try Benny Hill music. What?
No, Travis has something.
Oh, Benny Hill will be next? Okay.
Okay.
Travis, hit the music
I want
and then
the viruses music.
the next clip from Oprah.
Well, I will tell you that it is pretty shocking when you take the veil off and you see the devastation and destruction that has occurred to your face. It's really pretty shocking. When other people see it, I'm not quite sure what their reactions are.
You're not sure what their reactions are?
Yeah.
Oh my God! Ah! Ah! Ah!
That's the.
Ah!
Oh, that's better.
Well, the last time I saw a mouth like that, I had to hook it.
Oh, well.
God, now Rodney.
Just some of the reactions from just Joe Citizen. Back to the music, Travis.
But does that bother you?
No, because people are going to say what they're going to say anyway. I need to move forward and get better and stronger.
When you think about what you used to look like and what your life used to be like, do you feel like the same person?
Yeah, I feel like I'm still me.
I am officially ashamed of the show.
Yes. I never thought I had like a point where I would reach. And that is it.
Well, let's say hi to Sharon Osbourne. Sharon, a pleasure.
Good morning, boys.
Hello, Sharon.
Sharon.
Yes, this deer was blessed with the ability to breathe and beaten with a monkey stick.
Monkey stick.
Well,
you better keep your
Punching
out. You better keep your mouth shut.
Let's say hi to Alan in North Carolina. Alan.
Hey, boys, what's happening?
Hey, buddy.
Hey, I heard after the show, she told Oprah that at least she didn't look as bad as Susan Boyle. Fuck it out, boys.
A twofer. Wow.
People are confused. I love you, but you've changed, you little compassionate bitch. I was the one that fucking encouraged the circus music. I just couldn't watch it yesterday. I had a tough time watching it.
Yeah, that is really
Why is that
hard.
not, cool to admit? The next Oprah clip. You got another song maybe, Travis? All right, good.
What does your face feel like? Because you have this this bulbous, like I understand that part of your leg was grafted to create a nose for yourself. So does that feel like it's hard to breathe, or?
I can't breathe through it.
Yeah, you can't breathe. No. And they, as I understand it, were able to create a mouth.
Oh, yeah.
What do you now look forward to for your life?
As I understand it, from the clinic, I'm not a candidate for hands transplant because I have no eyesight. But I'm hoping somewhere along the line I'll be evaluated, and that maybe when I get a face transplant, the hand transplant will be doing it because they have to be done at the same time for the same donor.
Wow. I would just turn into Chimp serial killer.
Oh, yeah.
I would just go around.
You can't
I don't
see
know,
him anymore, though.
Yeah, that's true.
How would you get to him?
I'd get like a partner.
Partner in crime?
Yeah, and then they would kill the chimps, and I would figure out how to hold a knife with my feet and stab the chimp. I would be so angry at chimps.
I need help in finding something.
Horrible.
Oh. We have another clip here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we do.
Oh.
There will be a time, hopefully, in the near future, where you'll be released from the hospital and you'll be able to move out into the world and live somewhat independently, never alone, as you said. And there will be people who will see you on the street or getting out of a car or in a mall or wherever, and they won't know quite what to do or say or how to react. What do you want to say to those people?
Boo.
I'm the same person I've always been. I just look different. you know, and there's, you know, things that happen in life that, you know, you can't change it. You know, it's a tragedy.
Pretty much just saying shit happens.
Well, God bless you, and happy birthday.
No, he didn't.
Happy birthday.
It was nice.
Nice, nice. Thank you. Thank you.
It was nice.
Thank you. There's that one thumb. Holding on to that one thumb. It's great.
One little piece of me.
A little piece of you.
Ring, 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 banana phone.
Oh, no.
Ring, 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 banana phone.
Oprah doesn't know how to end the interview.
No.
Why would you wish her a happy birthday?
Happy birthday. There will be no more happy birthdays for that
They're
one.
just birthdays now.
Yeah.
They're just
never happy
fucking birthdays.
Not happy ones.
Wow.
So, what'd you get for your birthday?
That's what I'm trying to think of, too.
Yeah, what do you get somebody that
has no face?
No face.
Well, let's say hi to Tony Danza. It's a pleasure when Tony calls our show. Tony!
Hey, hey, Jimmy, how you doing over there?
Hi, Tony.
Hey, Tony.
Listen, I just, thoughts and prayers to the monkey-faced lady. Thoughts and prayers.
Thoughts and prayers.
Let's go to Joe in Queens. Joe.
Yeah, guys, come on. Really, be nice. I mean, stop rubbing it in her face. On and out. See ya.
Oh, boy. Oh, what are you going to do? What the fuck is that about?
I don't know. We should send her to have an argument with a black Columbia professor.
People are suggesting gifts that they're suggesting.
Oh, they're coming
are
in
a ski mask, a Jason mask, a lot of chapstick,
a shotgun. How about a shotgun? Is it that on the list?
No. Oh, yeah, no, that's just there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Okay. Good. Good.
Yeah.
A lot of chapstick.
A lot of chapstick seems to be coming in.
She can't breathe through her nose. That's the fucking... can't see, no hands. What
when you have a cold, you can't breathe through your nose. I don't think that's the toughest thing she's going through right now. With her eyeballs popped out of her head.
And then what? Oprah just grabbed onto her thumb at the end of the interview?
Horrible.
Yeah, she grabbed her thumb and, shook her thumb.
Shooka.
The lady had given that chimp fucking... I think she said... The people... Now she's denying it, but I think that they said there was Valium in the system or something. It's like... You can't give a fucking... that's what caused this poor animal to fucking react that way. Yes, it was a drug. Or whatever the drug was.
Jeez, imagine if he wasn't on the Valium. Valium, mellows you out.
No, but they said that caused the reaction. It can sometimes cause a weird reaction.
In chimps?
Yeah, and everything.
I never see that on the disclaimer on television. Might cause chimps to eat women's faces. Check with your doctor. Side effects include eating of women's face, hands, and feet.
Well, there you go. That's the chimp lady. Chimp attack
saga
lady.
Continues. Let's see if one of these days she gets her face transplant. Why are they giving her, why are they cutting her up to make a nose and shit like that if eventually they might just carve her face off and...
Well, I think...
Face up, yeah!
I think if you're in that situation, the one thing you really want is to breathe through your nose. Who gives a shit if you got a fucking nice face if you can't see it yourself?
Get a Makita with a quarter-inch drill bit, and then just right into your whatever your sinuses are left, and
start breathing, fresh air.
You're breathing.
I bet the husband, though, if they're having a face transplant, he'll probably go over the ones that he wants, and they're yes, no, yes. Hope they give her I hope it's not like someone who Charlotte Ray who dies, and that's the face she gets. I hope it'd be some fucking model who just falls asleep and never wakes up. Svetlana Nakatatola passed away. She's a Russian model with a giant clit and wonderful hands. I'll take her.
She's going to get some Breathe Right duct tape.
Jesus. Yeah, well.
God. Terrible. Why?
Phone's lit, but I don't know what they want to talk about. I'm sure. Well, let's try Kevin in Connecticut. Going cold here. I don't even know what you got, Kevin.
Oh, yeah.
What do you got, Kevin?
I thought I heard Oprah say yesterday she was leaving. Let's give her a hand.
Oh, did they say that? Let's give her a hand before... No, it was a private interview. There was no audience.
I know what she's getting for her birthday, though.
What?
Tickets to see Jimmy Norton at the Comedy Connection in Chicopee, November 27th.
What a fine gift.
I'm sure she needs a few lofts.
Send her out there, and we'll give her half price. I won't comp her, because ticket sales are slow in Chicopee. But we will give her half price.
We should have
See you there.
Nice of
I'll
you.
see you there, Jimmy.
All right, buddy. Thank you.
We should put out a press release that you're giving her 2 almost free tickets to one of your shows.
We're giving
in
her
the very
2
near
half-price tickets and a free soda.
What? Why don't they just? Here's what they could do. They could just smack one of those plastic with the metal dust in it. Smash that on her face, and then she could just draw the face.
Oh my
like
God.
that guy with the magnet.
Right.
Or just use like an Etch-a-Sketch. She could put an Etch-a-Sketch on her face, and then just make a big square face.
I would just wear Halloween masks
all the time. Halloween must be great for her.
Yeah, just
she'd win. She could clean up at parties all around. Just schedule it where you could go to these parties with
one party
best
after
costume,
another.
and then they'd be like, "Oh my God, that's fantastic!" And she walks out with cash.
Gosh, what a living hell.
Woolly Willy. She could get the Woolly Willy thing and put it on her face and make expressions and facial hair.
Jesus.
And whatnot.
Let's say hi to Bill in Alabama.
Oh, Bill.
Oh, boy, coffee. I would like to step up as an ornate listener and donate my daughter's Mr. Potato Head doll to this week.
Oh, boy. See, that's a little wrong. Thank you, Bill.
That's terrible.
We got another weird story. We could, do a back-to-back, belly-to-belly here. If you got anything else on the Chimp Attack lady, keep calling. The 12-year-old girl. We got this video there, Danny? This is a big story, too, but not as big as Chimp Attack lady today.
But, man, what the fuck is this? This is like some kind of wacky medical phenomenon. She sneezes.
Yeah, 12,000 times a day, and the doctors cannot figure it out, and they can't stop
The
it.
fuck is that about that they can't figure it out?
They don't know.
They're not feeling any worse, and they're probably not really feeling any better.
Almost sounds like it's part of the routine here. She sneezes roughly 12,000 times every day. Right now, a follow-up on a unique story that has a lot of 10 on Your Side viewers stepping up to help. We first introduced you to 12-year-old Lauren Johnson last night.
Dehydrated?
She was perfectly healthy 2 weeks ago, but suddenly began sneezing, and now she just can't stop. On your sides, Katie Collette has been working this story. Katie, is there any idea yet what may be causing this?
Alvita and Tom, Lauren's mother tells me there is one possibility. Now, that possibility is called an irretractable psychogenic disorder. It's caused by stress or your brain possibly misfiring signals. The Johnsons' concern? It's so rare, there's no known cure. Since we first introduced you to Lauren Johnson, her condition is the same.
It's not like I feel really, really sick. It's just the sneezing.
This sixth grader can sneeze anywhere from 8 to 16 times a minute. A medical mystery to doctors and her family.
Wow.
Shit.
Oh, the mother. Look at the mother. Why so long in the face? Sorry. So visual and so cruel.
That's no way to make fun of Meredith Baxter Burney. What could we do?
The young girl looks like a young Drew Barrymore.
She's very cute.
She's beautiful.
Yeah,
She's just getting snot on everything.
No, she says it doesn't. It's not like snotty or runny.
Something's got to be spraying out.
No, maybe saliva out of her mouth.
It sounds wet, her sneeze.
Well, it's probably out of her mouth. You ever sneeze out of your mouth, kind of? You go like,
yeah, and you get a little spittle going everywhere.
It's a little spittle.
Here's the second part of the story.
Our number one priority, obviously, is to find out why a perfectly normal, healthy girl, mentally, physically, could be fine 1 minute and have chronic sneezing the next.
With allergies ruled out, Lynn Johnson says she and her daughter visit several doctors a day, neurologists and ENTs who eventually send them to psychotherapists. But once they get there,
they send us back to the medical practitioners because they say Lauren's a well-rounded girl. There's been no stressors in her life. There's been nothing. She's not an attention getter.
Yet Lynn says a neurologist told the family this morning Lauren's condition could be irretractable psychogenic disorder, triggered by stress.
There's less than 40 cases, ever documented, ever in the entire world.
Even more concerning for the Johnsons?
Nobody really knows how to treat it, what's going to work, and even in cases where it might have worked or turned the sneezing off for a while, a lot of times it comes back again.
Lauren, aware of the challenge ahead, trying to live the life of a normal 12-year-old, knowing right now she's anything but.
3 or 4 doctor's appointments today, but whatever it takes to get me to stop sneezing.
All right, look, man, the news is no better than us because during that entire clip, they made sure the girl was close enough that they could get a bunch of sneezes on their newscast. Why wouldn't they just interview the mom separately?
I know.
They want a lot of those sneezes.
They had her in the background. We weren't playing a sound effect over the mother's interview.
Every time the mother talked, the little girl was sneezing. They didn't have to do that. That they could have easily avoided that.
Thank God kids aren't cruel at school. I'm sure she doesn't take any flack for that.
Well, we got some people checking in on this one, too. John in Atlanta. John.
Hey, you think she sucks at hide and seek?
All right,
that's why we got the funniest listeners in radio. That should be acknowledged every fucking day. Would you get it? Would you be annoyed by saying "bless you" just over and over?
Bless you.
When do you just stop saying "bless you"?
After the first time, 12,000 gesundheits.
Yeah, gesundheit.
How does she sleep?
God bless you.
How does she sleep? All night long? You think she?
She talked about sleeping or something. Said,
oh, really?
That, she has to just kind of sneeze her way to sleep, and then once she sleeps, I don't think she sneezes.
Fucking Wilmington Wow writes, she sounds like Hyman Roth. Holy shit.
If my Bobby Playhouse is on the table in the morning, I'll know we have a deal.
Who's answering the phones today? Why are they really slow? They're really slow at getting people up here.
Who's it?
One of our interns. Oh, see, it's so obvious.
Take the gummy bears, pass them around, let everybody have one.
Every phone is lit, and we got one guy that I know what he wants to say.
Who's on the phones?
Who's on the phones?
Dude, come on.
We're switching it up right now.
You gotta switch it up.
Who was it in there?
I was our wonderful intern, Graham, who won't be doing the phones.
What the
Graham?
fuck, Graham?
Is Graham the creepy one with the fucking Roman hairdo?
Yes.
Roman hairdo.
How hard is it? We got two great fucking stories.
What
Just
is
answer the
Graham?
phone, ask them what they want, and write it down on the line
slow?
here.
Yeah.
Is he a slow typist?
He sucks, right? At this, yeah.
Yeah, no, he's not good.
Is Graham an idiot, or is he just
why
a
is
bad
he on the
typist?
phones?
I think a little of both.
Why is
Graham, you stink.
Poor Graham.
All right, let's say hi to Travis in New Hampshire. Travis.
I think you boys have found a new drinking game. Everyone grab your beer, and here we go. Punch it out.
Oh, yeah.
I guess he was implying you drink every time she sneezes.
Well, let me take you inside the show. That was the only one that was screened, so I had to go with this.
Yeah, I know.
I knew it was going to be bad.
Graham has hit the emergency brake. He pulled that cord on the show that just hits the brakes.
See how it works. We present, try to throw some funnies out there, and then we continue with the funnies from the listener.
Then you hit the callers.
It's all nice.
I think she'll grow out of it, I bet.
Just grow out of it?
Yeah. I bet it's one of those phases like when kids have ticks. Not like insect ticks, when they're like twitching and
shit.
Yeah. I had a very twitchy thing like Jimmy had. I was very twitchy. Were you a twitchy kid, Jimmy?
I couldn't have twitched more if they threw me in a twitch machine and gave me twitch soda.
Yeah, I was kind of twitchy. I was like blinky guy. I would blink a lot.
Oh, sweetie.
I was blinky. So I was always very nervous and scared.
Really? You blinked a lot?
Yeah, I was blinky guy. You know those kids that just would blink? That was me. I was blinky guy. But that was when I was a real, elementary school and stuff. Then you grow out of it.
Who's on the phones now? Because now it's not much better.
I wouldn't
Now it's Butcher.
Come on, Butcher, let's go.
Let me tell you something. This has to do with sort of what we were talking about earlier. I would not give a flying fuck about Sneezy Girl if she wasn't so cute.
If she was a black girl?
If I didn't think she was just a cute girl.
All right, let's just go with ugly. Okay, so...
No, I'm not saying that. Yeah,
I'm just saying in general. If it's an ugly kid...
Who cares?
Does the news do a story on her?
But it's terrible. She's adorable, and she sneezes.
Yeah.
I feel bad for her. It's awful.
Trucker Doug, go ahead.
Good evening.
Hey, Doug, go ahead.
How great would it be if those were farts instead of sneezes?
Punching out.
Or what about if every time she sneezed, she farted? Just a fucking mess. Uncle Sully writes, I called a few hours ago, and Graham asked me how to spell Spitzer.
No, he didn't.
Oh.
No, he didn't.
Wow.
He's not that good.
Can we have Graham for 1 minute here, please? Just 1 minute.
He left the room, so.
Well, go
He's right.
Graham.
Yeah. Come on, Graham.
Is it him?
Get in here, Graham. Here comes Graham.
What happened,
Roman
Graham?
hair. What
happened to you?
What happened, Tiberius?
What happened?
What happened, Damien?
You felt the pressure in there?
Did you feel bad when your friend Mark collapsed in the snow? Come with me, Mark. Okay.
All right. Well, I was doing calls since this morning. I think I was doing a good job for the first segment of the show.
You think?
And there was a lot of great Chimp calls, Chimp lady calls.
Yeah.
And then I just kind of got a slew of mediocre calls. I was trying to go through them, and I didn't want to. You blew it. I blew it. I didn't want to put any of them up if I didn't think that they were winners.
No, the problem I had was how slow you were answering the calls.
Yeah, it was very slow.
If you got 10 phones ringing and only one, we only know what one person wants to talk about, that could be a problem. We like to pick and choose.
I understand. I was hanging up on a lot of people.
Well, you were.
Yeah.
I didn't really see that.
Well, I was going through them as quickly as I could. Maybe I'm not very good at it. I apologize.
I don't think you're very good.
Yeah, let's get the word maybe out of that.
Yeah, things like that. I think maybe.
I'm going to have Charlotte Nash typing in the information.
I consider myself.
Hold on. Thank you.
Let us enjoy the laugh, Grant. Jesus.
I'm sorry. I love you, Jimmy.
Thank you, sir.
I consider myself like the Rudy of the phones. It's like I've got a lot of heart, and I try really hard, and maybe.
Yeah, we know
if you
we'll put you in for one call.
Yes. That could also make you the Bill of the phones.
This show,
Andy Rooney.
This show hates the Rooney.
Andy Rooney.
You ever notice I'm retarded? I run a coffee shop at a school.
Do you ever notice when you get lost and call for Sister Sarah, how she says, beat it, genetic malformity?
Says her name was Ida. Could have sworn it was Sarah on Florida Street.
We hate the Rudy story on this show.
Yeah.
I'm not inspired.
It wasn't movie-worthy.
Not inspired.
Some jerk-off who makes a tackle at age 58. Fuck him.
Age 58.
Fuck him with a stick.
See, what happened was the Chimp calls pretty much ran themselves. Yeah. Everyone can comment on the Chimp.
There were a lot of great callers.
The race call, when we had the race discussion, again, very easy. It's very thing. And then we switched it around. Sneezy Girl, kind of a little more difficult to weed out the good from the bad. And you just, no, you weren't cutting it there.
I'm very sorry, guys.
You went to a level. You should have stayed at a certain level, and you were trying to level up. And
it was very noticeable that you really just sucked at it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
Extremely noticeable.
I will try.
So
harder.
Noticeable, I would just leave.
Yeah, I would
just the building. And not come back.
Yeah, you should probably just go.
Yeah.
Can I have someone sign my internship form? Because I need credits.
Internship form.
Sure, I'll be happy to sign that. Here, hold on a second.
Okay.
It's Sneezy
a great
Girl
time
here.
to have a fart.
You just got Jimmy's stamp of approval.
Thank you.
Oh, come on, just enjoy it.
Just do what I do. Eat eggs every morning and you can't tell the difference.
True.
Let's say hi to Nick in Alabama. Nick.
Now go home and get your fucking shine box.
Nicky.
How you doing, guys?
Good.
I heard this girl's dream is to grow up and meet a little boy with Tourette's who keeps saying, God bless you.
That would be, what a pair.
Very good.
God bless you. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you.
She was on the Today Show also?
Oh, fuck. Let's get more sneezing audio. Can you hit that?
I sure can. Hang on.
Please.
Let's see. Here we go. Back that shit up.
If she doesn't sneeze.
Along with NBC's chief medical editor, Dr. Nancy Simon. Good morning to all of you. First of all, Lauren, you don't seem to be in any kind of pain. Is any other part of your body hurt, or is it just the sneezing?
No, it's just primarily the sneezing. I'll get maybe a raw nose, some little tissues, but that's mostly it.
Mm-hmm. And this all started, you had a head cold along with your sister. Let me see if I've got this right. You basically were sneezing then, but not so much. You went to a sleepover. You felt better not to go to a sleepover. And then when you came home, you came back sneezing. What did you
Wouldn't
notice?
you yell at her?
You realize that something.
Just stop fucking sneezing. As the interviewer, you would have to yell at her.
Feeling better for a day.
Ah!
You know, the sneeze with the cold was a normal productive sneeze, and she came back from having a sleepover. It became a rhythmic, non-stop chronic sneeze. That's when we first really became alarmed a few weeks ago.
So something like 5 sneezes a minute to maybe more than that, maybe even 10, 20 sometimes.
Yes.
And so the average is you know, you have an average for that, but then that's kind of accumulates something like 10,000, 12,000 sneezes a day.
Why is she on the news?
This is miserable.
That's the theme for today. Why is she on the news? Is this news?
It's because she's cute, little girl.
You've not been able to go to school.
She's a cute kid.
It's a side
She was
show.
ugly. They wouldn't.
You would pay good money at the circus to watch this for 5-10 minutes, wouldn't you?
And is there anything that causes you to sneeze more versus sneezing less?
No.
It just depends on what's happening. You can't.
I guess interviews really get her
But you
sneezing.
have been able to sleep, which is a godsend, right? You can get some rest. And what are the doctors telling you?
They say they have a couple ideas, maybe that it's an intractable psychogenic sneeze that she can't control, but they can't
Give her a
find any
lobotomy at
stressors
the
or any trauma or
sneeze
anything
center
recently in
of
her
the
life
brain.
that could cause that.
Well, Laura, let me ask you about that. It sounds like there's some worry that maybe something might have happened to make you want to sneeze. Is there anything that you can think of?
Uncle Paul.
What happened to you that made you?
Yeah, it's probably to.
What did you do, Uncle Paul?
It's probably to keep the uncle away.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything.
You can't think of anything. Nancy, you know, you
And she's
this
not
is a
one of the
very
worst
rare
sneezes
thing.
ever.
Maybe 40 cases, I understand, maybe.
Is it like hiccups, you think?
Known.
Like a weird form of hiccups?
Well, I think we have to just sort of
Same
step
shit?
back for a second, and it's
Step
always
back to get out of the
very
way of the
difficult
mist.
when a family's brave enough to come on national television and sort of go through this.
Brave
but if you
enough?
peel back the layers of
You're a
the
sick
onion,
mother.
and you watch her, she's sneezing through her mouth, not a real, as you said, as Lynn said, not a real productive sort of nasal sneeze, which raises the question, and we talked off camera, so this won't be a surprise between the two of us, that perhaps this is more like a tic. You have to think things like Tourette syndrome. There's things like Munchausen syndrome, where people sort of make things up as a secondary gain, attention. Unusual for something like this, because with Munchausen syndrome, it's usually belly pain, chest pain, and you want people to run tests on you. But children who can't stop, and it's not that she has chosen not to stop, she can't. It is now an involuntary tic that has taken over her life.
Your dad would have figured out how to stop her, right, Aunt?
Hell yeah.
Of how you get to that, and there are extraordinary.
Stop sneezing, I'll give you something to sneeze about.
Exactly.
In the
What
country,
that even means.
having exhausted neurologists and ear, nose, and throat doctors and not found anything up in the nose, you have to then take the next step and say, okay, what is there going on that has a psychological basis that you can then zero in on and treat?
And nervy.
But you know, it's also true that if there are only
she's tugging at her sleeves.
cases that maybe find
She must go through a lot of sleeves.
Oh my God.
Well, Annie, I just don't think this is a sneeze.
Doing our laundry?
So I think once you say you don't think it's a classic sneeze, then you have to say what
She's
is
in
it?
the room.
Classic sneeze, you sneeze, your eyes close, and you have some spray out of your nose. This is more coming out of her mouth into her hand, and it's involuntary. You can tell there's a rhythmic aspect to it, and that brings up the idea
One
of
of
a
the
tic.
reasons why you wanted to be on TV is because you hope that somebody who's watching might be able to help you.
Jesus
and
Christ.
you want them to help you because you want to. I understand you really like school and you miss your friends. Is that right, Lauren?
Yeah.
So, what do you have to say about
How annoying would it be to share an 8-ball with her?
Oh, God. See that?
Me and my friends here and there.
Here, what did you do? All right, here's another line. Let me put a line out for you.
Teachers come out.
Yeah, your turn.
Oh, God, it's all over the fucking table.
I think we should say,
hold on.
height of the craziness of flu season.
All right, here's a
This
nice
is not
big rail.
contagious. Her friends should come over to the
that
house. She can travel everywhere.
Yeah,
This
there it
is
is.
not
That's yours.
sneezing on everyone.
Oh,
This is
God,
a
all over
time
the
when
place.
this man needs support, and very important.
Very good point. Well, Lauren, I hope you get that support and you get to hear Lynn from somebody who's listening, and Dr. Nancy, thank you.
You bet,
as
Annie.
always, helping us. And by the way, if you have a suggestion that could help Lauren from Stop Sneezing, you want to hear
Come on,
from you, so you
sneeze.
should log onto our website, which is at
Oh, they must have turned our mic off right when they went to her.
Yeah, because they don't want her to distract the plug for the website.
Yeah, the website.
Yeah, that's when they turn her mic off.
www.com. What?
At least you know what you get when you listen to us. This is fucking news. They're a bunch of phonies. Another sideshow to get the ratings up.
Yeah.
It absolutely is some kind of
This is like one in, I would guess, a million.
Oh,
no, I bet you there's less than 10 of these people in the whole country.
Perhaps!
They said the odd, it's so rare that there have been 40 cases ever diagnosed.
Since
That
cavemen?
sounds like a nervous tick, though. That's right. That's like so weird. That's like going, nah. Like, because I have a nervous tick that I try not to do on the radio, and that's it.
What is it?
In my private life, I do it 3 to 4 times a minute.
so, can't give this guy credit because he didn't write his name. Sounds like walkie-talkie.
Oh. I think I have a cure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. What do you...
There you go. Sneeze over.
It's not a good cure.
Why?
Well, old school dads would do that.
There's somebody else with a tick.
Ush, 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 ush.
Wow, that's
pretty...
a fucked up story, dude.
You think?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. When you just like
love to take a break and eat.
And take a leak?
Yeah, we could do that.
Some of us have gigantic cocks that need to be relieved.
We got to squeeze the Larry King shit in.
I'm not going.
Mary, I don't know. Mary Weiland is coming in minutes. Scott Weiland's ex-wife.
Does she sneeze?
She's got a story to tell. Hopefully she'll open up today because some of the stuff from her book, just amazing. And Belladonna.
Yes.
Jimmy's personal friend.
Yeah, her and her husband are very are good friends of mine. And when I hosted the porn awards, they had me in their house, and they treated me really well.
I'm not very familiar with her works. Is she still in the business, as they call it?
She is. I don't know if she's still doing all stuff or just girl, but
girl. Sometimes they just kind of semi-retire.
Yeah,
I'm in semi-retirement.
She's the biggest now too because Jenna kind of stepped down. So I think Belle's the biggest one, and she's fantastic.
See your snatch? I want to see your snatch.
There's enough photos of that on the net.
Oh, yeah?
It's not hard to find.
There might be one more good phone call.
Oh,
Dave
yeah?
in New Hampshire. Dave. Hey, Dave.
Yeah.
You're on the air. Go.
Yeah, I was just saying, how would you like to take the sneezing girl with you to a bunch of golf tournaments?
I'm a golf fan. Just put her on the 18th green when Tiger Woods is putting for the championship. You think he would get annoyed?
We got a text from Dr. Steve.
Yes.
Oh. And it said, it's a really weird text. It's like, she's hot. You got any pictures of her? Very inappropriate, Steve. No, it says, it's called machine gun sneezing. They can tell if it's psychogenic by numbing her nose. Which,
Nah, I'm machine gun sneezing, see? Nah. Don't kill me. Don't kill me. No, I don't want to get killed.
Oh my God, they just got lightheaded left.
Fucking Dick Tracy criminal.
Achoo, see? Achoo. Beat it, coppers. You'll never find it. Achoo, me in here. Achoo.
What am I part of? Babyface cough. Nah. Dave, no, don't kill me. No. I'm yellow. I'm yellow all over my sleeve from sneezing on it.
Stick 'em up, Matt. Give me every Kleenex you got.
Rob on Long Island. Rob, you got more on Dr. Steve? We'll go back to you in a second.
No, that's all.
Okay. Rob.
Yeah, doing the 8-ball with the sneezing girl, sneezing it all off. Karen, what did you do? That's all we had. What did you do?
You sneezed it all away.
They were gonna fight him, Henry.
Look, it doesn't take an expert. This is what happened. Something traumatic happened to this girl. I think someone said that it started after a sleepover. Something happened at the fucking sleepover, and now she's using this as a defense mechanism. So fucking find the creep that might have done something crazy to this.
Did they say that after a sleepover?
Get this creep prosecuted, and guess what? She'll stop sneezing immediately. Pay me. Thank you.
Dude, I didn't catch it. They said after a sleepover?
I believe so, yes.
Oh, man.
Something traumatic happened to this little girl.
I see you've brought some NyQuil and condoms.
Yes.
Why don't you sit down over here? Hi.
Yeah. What do you think? Sometimes it's obvious what it is.
Steve said if she stops when the nose is numbed, it's physical.
Well,
meaning
yeah.
if the nose is not picking up.
Oh, okay.
Right.
But she's sneezing kind of more through her mouth.
They had to have tried that.
Sonny Forelli.
You know? You would think.
Yeah. Hey, at least we know that sneezing girl won't be getting addicted to cocaine.
I wish my ears were numbed. We
Thank you,
quick
sir.
break. Take a leak. Sister Mary Weiland.
Mary Weiland is here. Her book is called Rock and Roll and Mental Illness, a memoir of drugs, rock and roll, and mental illness.
Beautiful.
Bipolar, heroin, burning of Scott Weiland's clothes.
Uh-oh. Heard that before.
All sorts of shit. So hopefully she'll open up
I'm sure
a little
she will.
bit for us today. Opie and Anthony and Jim Norton. Stay there.
I feel like it's karaoke night down in the basement.
It feels weird because I don't have a buzz on.
Yeah, what the
Opie Anthony, Jim Norton, and Mary Weiland entering the studio. Hi, Mary.
Hi.
Welcome to the Opie and Anthony Show.
Good.
Pretty good. You got a new book called A Memoir of Drugs, Rock and Roll, and Mental Illness. And, wow.
Yeah.
You're being very open in this book, which is very refreshing.
Isn't that nice?
Talking about being bipolar, talking about heroin, talking about your ex, Scott.
Mm-hmm.
We're all big STP fans, by the way.
Yeah, everybody should be a big SDP fan.
Yeah?
They're awesome.
They are awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there were a lot of stories about Scott. Some true, some not, I guess.
Yeah,
but,
a lot not true, actually.
Yeah, I would gather. A lot of people would wonder though. How far did it go? Because you'd always hear like every tour. Oh my God, what is Scott doing? He's screwing this up or that up, and obviously you would know. So
I would. I'm the person to ask.
Yeah. So you put it in the book?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I wanted to have some fun in there too. I don't want to put anybody into a coma.
Right.
The most important part for me was getting across the addiction and the bipolar and hopefully being able to help somebody, but I want to have fun too.
Yeah. How did you meet Scott? I hear you were a model, right? In L.A.? And Scott Weiland was actually your driver?
Yeah, when I was 16, I didn't have a license, and you can't get around L.A. without a car. And a friend of mine said, I know this guy. He's in a band. He's looking for a day job.
Jesus.
So I paid him $8 an hour. A lot of people think it was like he was my chauffeur driving me in a limo, but it was just this old beat-up Chrysler that used to ruin all my shoes. It was leaking all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you hired him for $8 an hour, and I believe, if I read this correctly, then the band got discovered a mere few weeks after that, right? And no more Scott Weiland.
Months, I think it was maybe 3 months, and then he got a deal.
And he said, well, I can't drive you around anymore. I'm going to be a big rock star.
That's right. I would have, too.
Right.
How long after that did you guys realize that you wanted to date?
2 years.
Or did you reconnect?
Well, you know what?
2 years.
She was 18.
I was emancipated, so give the man some slack.
Oh no, I'm just saying. Hey,
No,
believe me,
nice.
you ain't catching any flack from me on that subject.
You only knew.
Yeah, no, I knew. The minute I was introduced to him, I said, I'm going to marry that man.
Wow.
But how much longer before you started dating?
Well, we hooked up about a year later in London and always kept in touch. And then he married his longtime girlfriend for a minute. And then
For a minute, yeah.
I could understand why it was a minute for her.
Oh,
And
really?
that was a rough time for him.
Right.
And we hooked up again. We reconnected after that.
Now, were you doing heroin when you met Scott?
No.
Did he introduce you to the heroin?
Yeah, he did. I mean, I was no angel.
Right.
Thank you.
Jimmy's a very sweet boy.
Isn't he sweet?
I just feel that a guest should have water in front of him.
Yes.
That's
Good.
my
I've
motto.
been spending so much time talking about myself. Not only am I over myself, but I need water.
That's what I provide. I'm horrible in bed, and I don't make a lot of money, but I'll give a beverage to any woman who asks for it.
You're kind.
This book is a great read, but so Scott introduced you to heroin. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, like I said, I was no angel. I had already discovered Coke and Jack Daniels. And
good combination.
They're a good combination.
Wow. for
they
not
cancel each other out.
Yeah, takes the edge off.
Yeah, I mean, I went to rehab once, and then after that we reconnected. He happened to be in the same rehab that I was going to, and we spent some time together trying to both be sober, and we relapsed. And not too long after that relapse, I tried heroin. And honestly, the reason why I tried it, I thought it was going to be a one-time gig. And I was so in love with him that I wanted to understand why he would turn his life over to this and, let it disturb his career and music that he loved and family. And I didn't understand, and I wanted to experience that so I could understand. And
did you understand after taking heroin?
I sure did understand.
Okay, now I can see.
I understood him immediately. It took about 15 seconds to understand.
Wow. Holy
that was
shit.
It for me.
You're bipolar too, which is never a good combination with drinking and drugs.
It's not a good combination with food. It's no good.
What would set you off? Like, what combination would set you off the worst? I mean, obviously you weren't on anything for being bipolar at that time, right?
No, I was on heroin for bipolar. Yeah, really keeps you calm.
Oh my God.
Well, yeah, see, what would set me off? Somebody drug hogging made me angry.
Well, that'll make you angry.
Yeah, I was not happy about that. I guess it was, for the most part, when I wasn't using. And it was just up and down moods. A lot of people experience mania as the majority of what their bipolar is. For me, it was a lot of depression. I spent a lot of time in bed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a real hard, a high thread count, but also I was not able to pull it together.
Wow. Really? And then you'd have like manic moments where you would be like happy and up and just kind of life of the party girl, and then crash back down.
I mean, the mania was two ways for me. The first was I would get really productive and just get on a roll. I'd say, like, you know what, I'm getting back to work. I'm going to Paris. And I'd arrive in Paris and spend a week working and doing really great, and then crash and come home.
Wow.
And so it was that, and then also I would get kind of jacked up and decide I wanted to use again.
Wow.
Because I wanted to calm myself down.
And getting back to it, when you met Scott, was he already on heroin?
No.
And so you saw him go from this guy where he had all this success and people loved him, and then he started just blowing everybody off, his family and friends, and obviously the bandmates after a while.
Yeah, I mean, you go into a whole nother dark place when you enter that world.
What made him get on board the old heroin?
You know what? I think that he had the same intention that I did, that I want to try it one time.
Apparently no one just tries heroin once.
Yeah. No.
It's,
I haven't heard of one person saying they just did it that one time.
Like, I'm just going to try sex once.
Yeah, right.
You can't remember that feeling and go like, not going to do that again.
The cover of my book, that picture was taken on the day that Scott first took heroin.
Wow.
Or tried heroin. I don't think
Really?
he took it, but he tried it.
Really? Okay.
I got to say, you got some nice gams on you.
She's beautiful.
Holy shit.
Mary's beautiful.
Nice pins.
Nice everything.
You kidding? And it also says you tried suicide in high school. Now, how like, because I had my episodes too, drinking, drug, all that stuff. How
did you ever go to rehab? Because we may have been together.
But I'm much older than you, I think. I looked
started
terrific.
early.
But, I went.
So did Jimmy stopped early.
I stopped when I was 18. I went to rehab.
Yeah, look at her face.
What?
Exactly. Because most of us
started.
just getting started figuring out. No one thinks they have a problem at 18. In my world, no one thought they did.
Everyone has a problem at 18 if you're drinking.
I understand that, but Jimmy knew that. That's why I'm saying
That's
this.
amazing.
He just
I'm always
knew.
jealous when I meet people that were like, I pulled it together at 14.
Right. Jimmy just knew.
Nah, but it was
Jimmy
obvious
just
it
knew.
had to happen. But it was a phony suicide attempt. It was the wrist slicing, but not really committed. You know, it's more
I wasn't committed in high school.
Was it more the attention seeking, the suicide attempt?
Actually, I can't remember if it was high school or no, it was junior high.
Or was it a real attempt?
It wasn't necessarily an attempt. I didn't want to die. I just wanted to sleep for a long time, and I knew that medication made you sleepy, so I assumed that I could sleep for a long time. silly thought, but I was in junior high, so I didn't have a lot of good thoughts.
How were you saved?
I was in class, and my science teacher knew something was wrong. She sent me to the nurse's office. They figured out something was wrong with this girl and sent me to the hospital.
Wow. That gives you some rep in school when they got to drag you out of, the ambulance.
Yeah, actually, I got my rep in school when police came and arrested me and took me to juvenile hall.
Nice.
What was that about? That had something to do with your mom, right? Or your mom's boyfriend?
Yeah, my mom had started dating this guy that was he was a fucking jerk. And
why was he a jerk? Was he abusive, or was he just verbally abusive, or physically?
He came home one day, and I can't remember what the circumstances were, but he picked me up, like, over his head, threw me to the floor. And I went to the hospital. I was fine, but I told my counselor at school they have to report it. And police came. They talked to me. They went and talked to him. Of course, he said that I was threatening him with a knife and chasing him, and he was defending himself. And so I was arrested for assault with a deadly weapon.
Wow. And your mom took the boyfriend's side, obviously.
You know what? She wasn't there, so she didn't know what happened.
But, I mean,
But
she should listen to her daughter, no?
Well, here's the deal. I was a rotten teenager. And
so you could have actually done that, like, as far as
no, actually, I wouldn't have done that, but she thought, like, they were going to send me to juvenile hall, like, drive me by and freak me out.
Yeah.
She didn't realize that I was going to get an outfit and stay, you know.
Yeah.
So
must have looked fabulous on you.
Oh, it was gorgeous. It was gorgeous. It was like a bra. Felt like it was made out of styrofoam cups.
Right. I love that.
It was a good look. It was a really good look.
So you went to juvenile hall, and being bipolar, and I don't think I am. I maybe, I don't know.
Everybody is.
Yeah, it's possible.
I was about to say that. I have no doubt I have a little of that in me.
Yeah, you're fucking quadpolar. But you and Scott was also bipolar, and it's like, it's never a good combination.
That's a bad recipe, you think, Jimmy?
Sometimes it's a bad recipe. Sometimes it's a good recipe, because if one's up and one's down, or one's up and the other one's fine, you can, hold hands through it and get through it.
Right.
But if you're both bananas at the same time, not so good.
Well, you ended up burning his clothes and a bunch of things happened. But I mean,
a clothes burner.
Mm-hmm.
How many years were you married to Scott?
9.
You were married 9 years.
Yeah, 18 years and then 9 years married.
Wait, 18 years
since we met. 18 years ago. Yeah.
Wow. And you were married 9 years. Was it just?
And by the way, that's like 20 years in LA years.
Yeah, I'd imagine.
9 years. Yeah, that's a long time in LA years.
Exactly.
When did it really start going bad? The marriage.
Well, we struggled a lot, and then had a lot of amazing runs, but just kind of towards the end, we took two different paths. You start out when you get married on the same road, and as you get older and have kids, and you make different choices, and this time it was better for us to kind of go our own way.
Have you stopped using?
Oh yeah, I haven't used drugs in like 10 years. I like to call it a decade, because that sounds good.
Sounds like a long time.
But I only stopped drinking about 2.5 years ago.
Okay, so you got sober 2.5 years ago, for real. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And how about, do you know if he is, or you don't know?
I don't know if he's sober, but we spend a lot of time together, and he's always fine. I don't know what he does in his off time. I really doubt that he's using drugs. I don't know if he's drinking, but...
You still spend a lot of time together, though? Like,
dude, we lunch.
Really?
We go on family vacations. We hang out with the kids all the time.
How many kids did you guys have?
2.
2 kids.
Yeah,
together.
okay. Do you think if it was, it's hard to be hypothetical and stuff, but do you think if it wasn't for the kids that you would still have some kind of relationship, talking, like friendship thing going on?
Well, I think we would have needed time, and then probably reconnected, and I mean, we were friends for years prior to getting married.
Yeah,
so.
but sometimes marriage could sure fuck that up.
No, divorce fucks that up.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, good point.
So you go on family vacations and stuff. Now, is he with somebody else? Are you with somebody else? And is that awkward for your new partners?
You know what? Well, we both date, and we will literally go to lunch and talk about dating. Like, oh, I don't know if she's good for you. You might want to reconsider.
That doesn't bother you?
It's like Jerry and Elaine.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not Bruce and Demi. That's not who we are. We're not like all hanging out, happy family.
Sure.
But, we both date and, give each other our feedback on whether or not we think we've got good choices going or just a dead end. It was really weird at first.
Yeah, I want to go back to the clothes burning, because Ann had an incident, too.
Oh, yeah?
Let me hear yours.
Yeah, good,
Fire.
clothes burning thing. It wasn't my clothes, though.
I didn't do my clothes either. I wouldn't touch my wardrobe.
No, it was, I didn't burn the clothes. A girl
burn yours?
Burnt another girl's clothes. See, there's a whole
A friend of a friend of a friend?
involved in that one.
There was a little incident
she
that might
opened
have
up
happened.
a door, a closet door in my house, and there happened to be a girl standing there.
Not a good hiding spot, and not under the bed. You need to work out a new spot.
It almost happened like it was the DEA busting into the house. I really didn't have time to stash the goods anywhere.
Yeah, you can't flush a girl.
No. Karen! We needed that girl! They were gonna find her! No, so, and then, the original girlfriend, comes back and grabbed that girl's clothes and threw it in the fire pit and, a little lighter fluid and, burnt it up. As my police officer friend apparently videotaped it. Why he did that, I'm still trying to figure it out, but, yeah, that was my clothes burning episode in my backyard. There's still, I think, if you look close in the fire pit, you'll see some underwires.
Oh, nice.
Some bra underwires are still in there. Just
little metal.
Certain things are hard to burn.
Yeah,
Shoes,
zippers.
take some time.
Yeah, you know that for a fact.
Yeah.
What made you do it? Like, what happened that you said, I'm just burning all of his shit?
Well, that was the day that I had my big manic episode. That I've never had one, as crazy as that, and I really just couldn't control. I had my thoughts of what to do, and then I had my true self going, not a good idea, but I couldn't stop what the other part of me was suggesting.
Shit. But what set you off? Was it something he did?
Yeah, I mean, I knew something was wrong with me, and I was freaking out. Something is wrong with me. Please help me. Please help me. Please help me. And Scott just thought, you know what? You're a spaz. You are a spaz. You need to chill out. And I tried to explain, no, something is wrong with me. And he was getting on a plane, going to Chicago to work on his solo album. And I said, don't get on that plane. I need you here. And like I said, he just thought I was spazzing. So he got on the plane, and on his way to the airport, I said, if you get on that plane, I'm going to take all your shit out of the closet and light it up. And the minute he didn't answer his phone anymore, and I knew his plane took off, I stick to my word.
Wow. So you set his stuff on fire where in the yard?
In the driveway. I didn't want to light up the neighborhood. I brought out a fire extinguisher. I had a little bit of sanity.
You were safe about setting someone's
or Smokey the Bear hat.
What was the most valuable thing in that fire?
Yeah.
It was
that
he was a little disappointed because the media's, the TMZs and whatnot, that put out the exclusive report because they knew everything, that it was $10,000 worth of clothes. And he's like, what is that, shirts? Shirts? That was $80,000. It was YSL, Louis Vuitton, Christian Dior. I mean, that guy knows how to dress. And I didn't mess around with JCPenney's.
Went for the good stuff.
For the goods.
Uh-huh.
Did you burn anything irreplaceable, like things that were very personal to him, or was there a part of you that knew burn things that are financially valuable, but not anything that is going to really turn him on me?
Pick necessarily
like
that.
Grammy or something?
I've thrown a Grammy out the window. A Grammy's hit the street before.
Holy shit! Fuck your Grammy.
I love this girl, man.
Yeah.
You're all right.
Damn.
So you,
which can be repaired, by the way. There's a place for Grammy repair. Yeah.
I'll never need one.
You and I both. No pitch.
Now, what's up with Scott and the band? Because you were close enough. I saw an incident at Jones Beach. What was that? A little over a year ago. It's very obvious they don't get along.
What, Velvet Revolver or STP?
STP, when they got back together.
They didn't get along.
Screaming
I mean, he's not.
Scott made everyone wait at PNC for, how long was it, Danny? Like an hour and a half.
Yeah, well, that's probably because I wasn't there. Everybody loves it when I'm there because I'm like a drill sergeant. Go, 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 run, run, run. Move it, move it, move it. Get on the stage, and he'll be on time.
Yeah,
but it takes
this was so bad that when the Leo brothers, when Scott got off the bus, we were backstage because we were like, featuring the show, whatever, and there was some yelling and screaming. The word C was used about maybe a woman that possibly was on the bus with Scott. It was a bad scene. And then next thing you know, they walked on stage and performed like they're best of buds, but they were having a problem.
Yeah, well, he might have not been in top form that night. Well, there's that, not being 100%. That will not get you onto the stage on time. And then sometimes he just runs on rock time. It takes him, he's so into giving a performance and you're going to get your money's worth that it takes him time to prepare, not repair, but, well, probably both, but prepare. Yeah, so he takes a little time sometimes, but I think he's worth the wait. Maybe not 2 hours, but.
Why did the band go their separate ways at first? Before they got back together recently?
You know what? I think we both filed divorce at the same time. Like, I think I filed at that same time. Everybody was just kind of done with his shenanigans.
It was just getting so out of control they didn't want to work with him anymore?
You know what? The older you get, the less you want to deal with somebody.
That's bullshit you want to take? Yeah, true.
Would you ever consider, because you guys are still friends, you still go out, do you see any future with both of you if you both stay sober or if he's, sober for real and you're both on stuff for being bipolar? Do you see any possible future?
Bringing it on again? I don't know. I would never say, but we've spent so much time together that it's kind of nice to experience life separate. But, I don't know. I love him. I will always love him. He's my teenage sweetheart. That will never go away. But I don't know. Not right now, though.
That shit never goes away? Oh.
That feeling. You know what I mean? Well, think about your first love.
Oh, boy.
You have no matter how it turned out.
That was always miserable.
That's true.
They still have a place in your heart, and that's who he is for me.
So was he your first?
Uh-oh.
Is that what you're hinting at, maybe? No.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
No.
I came prepared. I knew what I was doing.
She was a wild girl.
No. Yeah. I could count on my fingers.
Okay.
How old were you?
So can I with a fucking calculator. Not different girls have stuff.
Abacus?
Well, if you count free ones, I can count on one hand.
Some people don't count, though.
How old were you when you lost your virginity?
My mother listens, for crying out loud. I don't want her to be frightened.
She listens to the Opie and Anthony show?
But I will tell you this. I didn't kiss anybody until I was in high school.
Oh, wow.
Okay, but how about other stuff?
Right, exactly.
That could be a fucking
really interesting.
He's throwing us off the path.
It took me longer to go there.
Yeah.
To kiss then.
No. Kiss was the first thing. You got to start somewhere.
Wait, I'm confused. Okay. So you didn't do anything till high school?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's normal stuff.
All right, I'm getting the drift there.
Wait,
No, I'm saying it took me a while, and the first thing was a kiss, and I didn't even kiss anybody till high school.
Okay, I got you.
Any girls?
No, I have no interest. I have all those parts. What do I need to look at yours?
Because they're pretty good.
Yeah, they're pretty good to look at.
Girl parts rule.
But guy parts are a fucking good time.
Not to me.
Well, that's how I feel about girls.
We're going to have to agree to disagree on that one. You're not going to convince us of that one.
You were modeling at like 16. You got emancipated, and you were flying all over the world and modeling. What were you doing? Runway, print? What?
I'm too short to do shows. So,
really?
Yeah.
You walked in here. You got pretty tall.
I brought my height, but apparently I didn't bring it enough back in the day. Yeah, not a problem because I have stage fright. So.
Oh, really?
Really bad. And
you're anxious? Do you have anxiety too, along with like bipolar?
Only if I'm on the radio.
Oh, no.
You're doing good. You're
fine.
My doctor gave me performance anxiety medication, and I took it once because I wanted to try it before I came to New York to start all this up. I thought maybe this will help me because I'm so nervous. I was like, I'm sleepy. It makes me really sleepy. I was not anxious at all, but I needed a nap, so that didn't work out.
People are probably like, oh my gosh, she's on
drugs again.
Oh, she's so on the drugs.
Do you take anything for being bipolar?
I sure do.
What do you take?
I take a handful in the morning and a handful at night.
Oh, it's a bunch of different...
Yeah, it's a cocktail. That's the only cocktail I get.
Is it stuff that kills? I've talked to my therapist about. I won't take anything because I'm afraid of creativity being fucked with.
Yeah, that's the problem.
And sex drive. Is that because there's ways that
sex drive?
Oh, so it's not one that
No.
targets that stuff. Okay, good.
No. It's just a mood stabilizer. Just kind of keeps you from going bananas or going down.
I've always been afraid of that. Like you just become, because I know a lot of guys that have taken it, and all of a sudden they got like white shit in the corner of their mouth. And it's like, how are you? You know, and they just talk too long and you lose interest.
They just stare straight ahead, stare right through you.
Those are people
I think they're on something else.
Yeah, maybe they're overdosing on it or something.
But you don't. Do you still think the same way you used to without the craziness? Like, does it make you feeling less creative, or?
You know what? It makes me control my crazy, because I'm a crazy girl.
Yeah.
That's just
part
gonna
of
be
who you
there.
are, yeah.
That's just going to be there. But when I get a crazy thought, now I know, like, you don't want to do that.
What's a crazy thought that would just hit you that you know is not rational?
Like I want to punch someone.
Oh,
really?
Yeah.
Fuck, that's cool.
Every day I get that thought.
Every
oh my
fucking
God, you
moment
walk
I
out
get
on the
that.
streets of New York and there's punchable people everywhere.
They're everywhere.
Yes.
I literally, sometimes I'm in LA, I'm driving, I want to get out of my car when there's somebody slow in front of me, just run up alongside them and punch them in the throat.
Punch him, yeah. Oh my God, right? Get out of the left lane.
But that's normal stuff. That really is normal.
Yeah, but I would act out on that before.
Yeah, okay.
And I kickbox, so I'm going to hurt you.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Really?
So
Jimmy's
it's nice
a really good kickboxer. You want to do a little thing with Jimmy right now?
Yes,
Jimmy, why don't you show us your kickboxing?
I didn't bring my gear.
Me neither. and I brought the body of a mushy man. Normally I would have my washboard abs here, but
he left them home today.
Yes, I brought the body of a fucking schlub.
Hey, you used to hang with Dave Navarro too, right?
Yeah, I got a lot of good friends. Dave's awesome.
Yeah.
He's a good guy.
He comes across a little kooky.
He's really sweet.
There's a couple things in your book about Dave Navarro, though.
Yeah. He's got good stories.
We've talked to him many times over the years. He's a great guy.
He's a really good guy.
But what's the story with the fire department? He used to call the fire department on himself?
Well, he was bananas, too. It's like the flu in L.A. People and he had his moment of not being in tip-top shape. And I guess you would call the DWP and he wouldn't call the DWP.
What's DWP?
They would come out, the Department of Water and Power. They would come out and he'd see them and think they were like FBI or something and pull a shotgun on them.
Oh shit!
Or he would call the fire department on himself.
For what reason?
The fire department.
Well, I'm sure he thought there was an issue that needed to be sorted. Maybe he saw me in the neighborhood. I don't know.
Yeah, she's gonna burn something. And
God, the listeners are falling in love with you. And for someone that's nervous to be on the radio, you're killing.
Yeah, you don't sound nervous.
No, not at all. You're doing really,
you guys
well.
are a good time.
What made you write a book too? Like it's all of a sudden to go, all right, I want to just kind of open my life up, and just let people read all the good and the bad. Was it an issue of needing money, or was it an issue?
No, dude, I'm in the hole from this book. Please buy it. I'm so in the hole. It's cost me so much money that it's depressing.
How did it cost? Is it self-published or?
No, it's Harper's, but
They didn't give you an advance or
they
any of that?
did. But then it got.
But it went to all the drugs you're still doing.
All the no, exactly. Heroin is expensive. No, it's, you have agents and all these people, and they take their chunk, and then you're like, wow, I can buy shoes
what's
now.
left? Yeah.
Did you write this with anybody? It says with Larkin Warren.
Yeah, because it was really important to me. Well, actually, I'll go back to your first question and then get to Larkin. It was really important. I got the deal while Scott and I were still married. There's a ton of, I'm getting so much slack because people think I've written a tell-all, Scott bashing, hate him. Now that we're getting a divorce, I'm going to say shit about him, which it's not even close to that. But
the small penis Scott Weiland came into the room and just bash him.
Yeah. We have to fix that because that's so not true.
No one would believe it.
I can't have that on the radio.
He's got a piece, huh?
Yeah, I'm sure he does. Skinny guy. Fucking skinny guys are always the best.
Yeah.
But anyways, I wrote
isolate that.
Really?
I didn't mean that.
But I wrote it because after I was diagnosed with bipolar, I started reading all these books about other people and that they had bipolar, and it was so much mania, and they did all kinds of, they were fucking everybody and doing all kinds of crazy shit, and I was thinking like, yeah, that's not me. I had so much depression So I wanted to write my experience because I imagine there's got to be somebody else that wasn't out on the street selling it, and I thought maybe they could relate, and also the addiction part. And it's awesome to know that you can recover from it, and you can be happy and lead an awesome life. And there's so much hopelessness.
Did you guys ever joke about how everyone was getting his name wrong?
You mean Scott Weiland?
Yeah. Weiland.
You know what my daughter said to me the other day? Can we change our name? Because I'm sick of Weilands. And she's 7. She's over it. Yeah, I did. I was talking to somebody yesterday about the book, and they kept going, I've got Mary Weiland here with us. And I'm like, no, you don't. No, you don't.
Is Scott happy that you wrote this book?
You know what? I'm so happy because it was so important to me that he was happy with it.
He was cool with it.
It's his story, too, you know? And he didn't want to read the whole thing. He's like, let me just read the important parts. So he
highlight everything that's me.
Yeah. So I read the important parts, and after I didn't read it, he read it. I didn't read it to him. After he read it, he gave me a hug and a kiss, and he said, you wrote a good book.
Wow. That's pretty cool, huh?
I was having a heart attack in the other room while he was reading it.
I can imagine.
Because there was still time for him to, for me to take something out if he was unhappy with it.
Plus, as an artist, let's be honest, the guy is a very, very respected creator and artist, and you're creating something, and you want it to be respected by an artist who you respect as well as the ex.
Yeah, he's the father of my children.
I just say respect once more.
I always say it 4 to 5 times per sentence. We know that. It's a minimum.
Fucking love what he does.
Can you start spelling it, too?
I have my Aretha moments. I'm not necessarily bipolar, but occasionally we all think we're ladies, don't we?
The other thing, we almost covered everything, but I didn't know that Scott's brother, Michael, died.
Yeah, isn't that so sad?
That's really sad. When did that happen? He was on heroin, too, Michael?
He dabbled in some different things.
He died of an overdose, right?
Yeah, technically, I'll never get the diagnosis right. I've written it in there, but he had a heart issue, and because he used drugs, the heart issue is what killed. Yeah, right. What killed him. And
how long ago was that?
It was just before I lit everything up, so that was a good year for Scott.
Wow. Yeah. And you say in the book, I believe, he never really got over that. That's a tough one to get over.
He's not over it. I wouldn't, I don't know how I'd get over my brother dying.
Yeah, of course.
I have no clue how that would happen for me.
Right.
Is there anything you regret? we all look back and have moments and you don't regret life, don't regret the past or want to close the door on it, but is there anything you look back on that you're like, oof, I kind of wish that was different?
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff that I wish was different, but yet at the same time, it's all good right now. So I don't know if my life would be awesome if it just started out.
What is something that you would like to change?
Well, I'm going to school right now to be a certified drug and alcohol counselor. So I'd like to get through that and actually complete it.
Well, they have the best drugs. Jesus.
Well, you know how to use them the best. I'm actually going there to learn more.
Yeah. What do you got in your pocket?
Oh, and you asked me about
empty your pockets.
You asked me about Larkin, and it was really important for me to have her for 2 reasons. One, I've never written a book before, and I needed some guidance. And the other thing is I wanted to make sure that, what I wrote, and I worked with my doctors and a therapist, that the information on bipolar and addiction was
accurate.
Oh,
right, yeah.
But you also got to pay somebody. That's what I was saying. Is you talk about the advance. You got to pay 15% to a book agent. You got to pay 10% or 15% to a manager or an agent, and plus you got to pay somebody who's helping you write. That's where the money goes.
Do you take responsibility?
So basically, I'm on food stamps right now. I need help, please.
Yeah. Everyone's got to buy this book, please. Do you take responsibility for your craziness?
Yes.
Because I asked that because, well, I'm
nice medical jargon.
Well, whatever. I got someone that's close to me in my life that is fucking bat crazy, but never took responsibility for any of it. It was always whenever it got tough.
It makes for a good show. Okay?
Oh no, shit, it does.
So just let me.
It's
an alarm.
Yeah, it's my mother, Mary. Just so you know.
I'm sure it's my phone.
Is that your phone? It might be Scott going.
My alarm.
Shut up.
Please shut it, lady.
Wow, what a pompous ringtone.
It's not a ringtone.
No, that's an alarm.
Oh, is it?
That's the alarm I use to wake up every morning.
Why do you?
Yeah, and I shut it off.
Oh boy, look at her.
But apparently it
This means something. Trust me.
No, that's kind of cool though. Look, you get to see a leg.
Oh, all right. Turn off your alarm.
I'm gonna snooze.
No, I don't blame you. No, because my mom pretty damn crazy, never took responsibility, and when the going got tough, it was always like, what do you want from me? I'm ill. It's like, well, that's great, but, it's affecting everyone around you.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely take responsibility for all of my actions. I did it. Nobody made me do it.
How do you explain it to your kids?
They understand that mommy and daddy have something that sometimes they make bad decisions because they have a hard time. When you're bipolar, you have a hard time making good decisions.
Yeah.
And sometimes mommy and daddy make bad decisions. They don't know a lot because it's not age appropriate. But, my son actually saw Carrie Fisher's book recently, and she's on the cover dressed as Princess Leia. And he asked me what the book was about. He said, is that a Star Wars book? And I said, you know what? Princess Leia is bipolar, too. And you could just see the kid lost like 20 pounds of like, oh, okay, that's good to hear.
Yeah, someone else.
Yes, it's just not my parents. So.
Are you scared they're going to be bipolar?
No, I'm thinking positive for them.
Good.
Scott and I always say 2 negatives got to equal a positive. And that works out in math. I'm hoping it works out in childbirth.
Fucking funny, man.
But at the same time, if, God forbid, they were ever to go down the roads that Scott and I have, the difference between us and them would be our parents didn't know anything. Mm-hmm. They didn't know how to fix us. We'll be able to recognize it, and we'll be able to help right away.
You think it was all chemical imbalance with you, or was it something in your upbringing, or?
I had a lot of chaos in my childhood, but I think I handled it pretty well. I honestly
sometimes you
think
you did, and then like later on you realize,
this room was filled with people that had chaos in their upbringing.
We are hard.
Filled. Except for Jimmy, I think.
No issues.
No issues whatsoever, which is an issue if you have no issues.
Yeah. There was so much chaos in my family, and so much in Anthony's, and Jimmy has shared it as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, my parents were 18 and 19 when I was born.
Wow.
Not the strongest level of parenting skills, but they did a good job. They did a pretty good job, and you do better when you know better. And I'm not mad at anybody.
I love opening a book, too, and just seeing what's the first thing you read. Like, sometimes it's just interesting to see where you wind up. So I happen to open Mary's book, and I think it's page 158. First thing I read. And then there was the modeling trip where I got cripplingly drunk at an airport bar in Atlanta and surfaced at a Coke party in New York City.
Cripplingly drunk.
That's how you know a book is going to be really interesting, when the first fucking thing you read is a blackout that covers, I guess, at least a plane trip.
Yeah.
I'm surprised I remember that. There was a layover, which I didn't used to do well on layovers or delayed flights, because there's always a bar sitting next to your gates. I'm like, well, I'm going to waste some time. And then they're like, it's another hour. It's another hour. Oh, I'll waste more time here at the bar. And I made a lot of friends at the bar.
Did you ever miss a flight?
Yeah. And I made a lot of friends, and I was in coach, and they were all in first class, and they traded their seats for the people that were around me in coach so we could keep it going. They gave up their first class.
That's how you know a woman is fucking hot.
All right.
Yeah, yes. That's because you're hot.
That's what...
None of us are getting that deal.
I've actually had the airline remove me from first class because I was visually unpleasant.
A more attractive person in coach that they wanted to bring.
Yeah, they've actually given me the fucking 2 seats in coach for someone with a better jawline than me in first.
Wow.
Yeah, Scott and I've been removed from a plane before.
Oh, really?
You have?
Yes.
For
intoxication.
Yeah, it's for what you would guess.
Arguing, or was it being visibly drunk, or was it being disruptive?
You know what? I don't even call it either of those. I just spilled champagne all over his pants, and so he took off his pants because he got to air them out, and that's not a good look for first class.
Yeah.
I mean, he wore a blanket as a skirt, but still, not a good look.
It's probably a good look for him.
And we hadn't even, they hadn't even closed the door yet, and this is already...
Okay, get out. We've
Once
had enough with you.
again, by the way,
right?
late plane.
See, always the problem.
Admirals Club. Yeah.
Admirals Club. What airline is that? It's not United. No.
It's American.
American.
Oh, is it?
Yes. United is the red carpet club.
Well, you made me just get Continental, so I go to the President's Club.
Yes. I love all these important names just to sit there and eat crackers. But they fucking make you shitty flight weight and flat Diet Coke.
It really is the truth.
President's Club eats my ass.
The President's Club.
And
Oh,
they,
great.
And they got guards at the door, guards at the desk, guards at the stairway.
Show your
For
platinum
what?
card. Show
For
your first
what?
class
For
boarding.
what?
From Melba Toast.
Yeah, exactly. And a fucking bag of chips. Well, free goodies, an apple.
A watered down fucking thimble full of Bloody Mary.
It just stinks.
Could you tell us one good heroin story? Whether
I'm sure I can.
how about one that just sticks out in your mind? Whether it's just you with somebody else, you and Scott, I don't care. Just one that really pops in your mind.
Oh, God. There was one time when we were at home, and we'd spent a lot of time in our home, and Scott was drug hogging, and I got very upset about it, so we got into a huge fight, and the neighbors called the police, and we were leaving to go downtown to replace his drug hogging, and the police showed up, helicopter, whole thing, and they had us in handcuffs. And I thought, fuck, man, I gotta talk my way out of this. And I had the worst dry mouth ever. And there was a Gatorade sitting like 2 feet away from me, and I'm like, can I please have a sip of that Gatorade? Like, I want it. So I got to talk my way out of this, and I don't know how I did it, but I talked our way out of it.
Did they give you the sip of Gatorade?
They didn't give me. They're like, I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm
wrong
sorry.
with them? Give her the Gatorade.
They wanted to hear a talker cottonmouth.
They probably did.
Funny.
Yeah.
Gee, that was some crazy. My lips were not wanting to proud. Hey, this is just not what it looks like. Yeah.
Were you guys scared you were going to OD? Where that doesn't really cross your mind when you're in that state?
No, I wore a heart rate monitor all the time.
Holy shit. What? Really?
Because we would shoot speedballs, and it's coke and heroin
Jesus.
together. And I didn't want to kick it, so I wore a heart rate monitor, and every time I would shoot up, I would watch the watch.
It's like a tack. You didn't want it to go in the red. You blow your engine.
Yeah. And I would just watch it and be like, oh, I'm good. And
wow.
That's fucked.
Yeah, and I always had...
So fucked. That is so fucked up.
I always thought I was very safe junkie, and so I would have 911 on speed dial right next to me, my heart rate monitor on. Every day I would drink 1 Gatorade and have a power bar to keep my nutrients. Just want to keep it...
Always good when speedballing.
Yes.
You don't want to get parched, number one.
Sure. That's a good plug.
And you don't want to hear your stomach growl. You're having a good time, you know.
Damn, you were in it pretty good.
What music would you guys listen to?
Funny is what always made us relapse was Appetite for Destruction.
Really?
And then it was crack up that he would go and work with Velvet Revolver, but
shit, right?
I know I was like, oh, this is gonna be
Not good.
This might not turn out so well.
Yeah, he surprised the band when he left Velvet Revolver too, right?
Yeah.
He just made that announcement on stage. Where was it? In Europe somewhere?
Yeah, like Glasgow.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And
what did he say?
He said, "I'm leaving the band," and the band's like, "What?
Yeah,
you didn't tell us that."
I think he said, yeah, everybody's witnessing the last show or the last tour or whatever.
Was he a selfish guy?
Not with family.
No, but I mean, aside from family, like with attitudes and stuff with the band or bandmates or other partners.
They'll say yes for sure. I think he's a smart guy. He's running a business. He's creating and being a creative person and entertaining. But there's the other side of it where you're running a business. And if you're the president, I'm sure people think Donald Trump, I'm not saying they're the same, but I'm sure people think Donald Trump is selfish too.
He probably is.
A little bit.
Well, we're fans of his work, man.
Trump or him?
No, fuck Trump.
I mean, I'm saying we all are selfish to a certain degree.
I still love putting the STP albums on and some of the Velvet Revolver stuff. Amazing. And
You just love songs about me, I know it.
Oh, what songs are about you?
What songs are not?
Oh,
no, I'm joking.
shit.
I'm joking.
Which ones are about you?
A lot of Shangri-La-Di-Da. Let's see. There's some Velvet Revolver songs. This might be surprising, but Mary, Mary.
Right. He did a song.
Just a few. Called Pieces. Yeah.
He did a song called, I think it was Atlanta. Sounded like Jim Morrison.
Yeah.
Holy shit, is that a good song?
Yeah, that's number 4, I think.
Yeah, I believe so.
4,
But
yeah.
it didn't really get any airplay. But if you're an STP fan, you go, wow, this guy's got the
They have a lot of songs that are just amazing vibe,
Right.
but they don't get there.
Are you sour girl?
I'm not sour girl. I know. I kind of wish I was a little bit.
Maybe you were sour, girl.
No.
And it's because of the dry mouth. It's not even a cool
Exactly.
reason.
Yeah, inspired by her cotton mouth.
Right.
Is he going to help you promote the book at all?
I don't really want him to.
Oh, you don't want him to?
No.
It's her thing, right?
Yeah, I don't want to write on his name. I mean, I already have his last name, you know, so that should do it. And I want to feel like I did something and I helped people and I, played my part.
10 years later, like a decade later of being clean, do you miss? Do you ever get an urge and go like, oh, that was pretty good?
Not really, but I joke that once my daughter's in college, I'm done. I'm back on.
Oh my God! Don't joke.
Oh no, little reservation. Those are bad.
It's not going to happen, but God, every time they have a birthday, I'm like, getting closer.
1 year closer.
I think I would start doing heroin at like 70. Why not?
You know what?
For real, why not?
Probably feel better.
What else do you got to do?
Right, I'm not even joking.
Wait
Why
for
not?
your meals on wheels? Might as well be comfortable.
If you can afford it and hang out, screw it. Put on your heart monitor. It gets up to like 8.
She put on a heart monitor.
That's the beauty of an addict. It's like, if you ate broccoli and it caused all these horrible effects, you'd go, you know what, no more broccoli. But drugs, it's like, all right, I gotta have the heart monitor and 911. Okay, now I can enjoy.
True. Scott would just go with it.
He was just winging it. I was like, we can't wing it. We gotta put
Figure
this show
shit out.
together. This is
Right.
Yeah.
You probably saved his life with everything you were doing to set this whole thing up. Who knows? Hey, is the band healthy?
Yeah, they're good.
Because I think I read recently they're getting ready to maybe try to
They're touring right now.
and put out another record.
Yeah,
possibly.
and I've heard a lot of it, and I really like it.
Really?
It's good. Yeah, I think everybody's ready for some more SDP.
And you're dating?
Yeah, a little bit.
Is it good?
a little bit.
LA does not have the greatest selection, which is unfortunate.
Why? Because they're just fucking
douchebags everywhere.
I would assume, the selection's limited to a very niche.
It's like you're a celebrity or a douchebag or a celebrity douchebag. And these are not...
That's what our show is.
Yeah. Do you date
douchebag?
Do you date regular guys, meaning people that aren't in the business?
Yeah, I actually prefer to never go down this road again. I mean, Scott was not a celebrity when I fell in love with him, so that was never my intention. But
Would you ever bring a guy you were dating to a show with him? Would you guys ever be that comfortable where you'll see his girl and you'll bring a guy you're dating?
More thing, man.
No, but it's
I don't know.
Bruce and Demi
Scott
thing.
never wants to know much information.
Yeah,
of course not.
You know, he doesn't want to know a lot. So we can talk openly, but he doesn't want to meet some guy.
You don't want to see a face. You don't want to hear details.
Yeah, but you know what? His ex-wife, she has gone to shows where she's brought her new husband and stuff.
That's weird. You talked to her ever?
No, I've not since I was a kid.
Right.
Yeah.
You ever go on a date with a guy that goes, hey, why don't we go karaoke bar? I sing pretty good.
or does an SCP song embarrassingly bad?
Sometimes people don't know. I don't say anything. I just show up. I went on a blind date like a year and a half ago. I'm like, hey. And this guy you wanted to talk about music and stuff. He's like, yeah, I'm a big SDP fan. And I was like, really? Me too.
Yeah, I could tell you a thing or two.
I like the SDP.
No, I bet I'm a bigger fan than you are. Well, did you ever fuck him?
A little off track, but there's two voices I love. It's your ex-husband and Lane Staley. You ever meet Lane?
No, I saw Alice in Chains at a tiny club in Milan in the early 90s. It was an amazing show, but I never met him. I know Jerry Cantrell really well. Mm-hmm. He's a really cool guy.
Yeah.
I like him a lot.
He comes around every once in a while. We
he should come around a lot because he's cool. I like him.
Right on.
Yeah.
I think we did it.
Is the
we got to
book
get her
out
out of here.
now, Mary? It's out now, or is it coming out?
It's out now, supposedly, although I have friends and family that are like, yeah, I went to the store, it's not there.
Well, I'm sure
There's no way to sell books.
They should be there.
The book should be in the bookstore.
I got to tell you, I read a lot of rock books, and I went through this pretty heavily, and it's a great read. It really is. It's refreshing because you're honest and very open in this book. You're not really holding back much.
No, you know what? Some people live behind a smile and denial, and I don't see the point, really. That's not how I grew up. I grew up with a family that was like, whoa, this sucks. Whoa, I made a mistake.
There's some wow moments in this book. You're going to be like, your mouth's going to be open like, what the fuck? The heart monitor.
I don't even know if I wrote about that. Maybe.
I didn't see it, the pages I read, but You said it here today. What do you got, Ant?
I'm just looking at a picture of, I guess, you and your dad in 1978. And
Do you like that?
Your dad looks like he has to get up and go to high school.
He did, actually. He did have to get up.
Now, you just said that your parents were very young when they had you, but there's like young, and then there's mature young, and this looks like he's holding a bottle of beer. Look at how young he looks.
Oh, my God.
That's a kid.
Check out our house, though.
Yeah.
Seriously, it looks like the set of Roseanne.
Dude,
It's so messed
the
up.
paneling, the wood paneling, and
Yeah, we lived in some interesting homes.
Really cool pictures, too. I love a book with pictures.
I know.
Fucking 41, and I like looking at pictures.
You know what? I wish I just put out a coffee table book.
They don't
Just
sell
have
well.
problems.
They don't sell well. Metallica did one. They don't sell well for some reason. So you're probably smarter to put.
Yeah, I have
words
a
out.
picture in there that's the day after I first slept with Scott.
Oh.
Yeah.
Let me see if you're
I
smiling.
think it's this one.
No.
Oh, shit.
Was it my rubber dress that?
No, it was your...
it.
What? Which one? You figured it out?
It's the one where they're both holding beers, but he has a look on his face which says, "I just fucked a really hot girl."
Yeah, he's holding the beer. I'm like, hey. We really got to get her out
So
of here.
thank you, Mary. It's called Fault to Pieces. It's in stores now. I'm sure if you just go to nonfiction, you'll find it, or it might be on the front tables. And it's nice and honest. A memoir of drugs, rock and roll, and mental illness.
And how do you pronounce the last name? Come on.
Weiland.
Yeah, I say that now.
Yes.
I think I used to mess it up.
You say Weiland, yeah. Everybody said Weiland.
Everybody says Weiland.
Weiland, too, sometimes.
Weiland.
But it's Weiland.
Mary Weiland. What a pleasure, man. I hope you come back and see us. I hope this book does well for you, because it really is good. What's the name of the book again, Jimmy?
It's called Fall to Pieces.
Fall to Pieces?
Yes.
A memoir of drugs, rock and roll, and mental illness. All right.
Yeah, let's take a break. I'll get you.
Yeah, right on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Opie and Anthony, Jim Norton. Man, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, she was great.
Yeah, she was really nervous to do our show, Mary Weiland, and they weren't sure they were going to book her on our show. See, we can handle some guests the proper way.
She did our first radio interview yesterday, apparently.
Wow-wee. Belladonna's in studio.
Giving Jimmy a nice little greeting.
Wow, are we happy.
Hi.
Hey, really fast before we get to Belladonna, just want to tell everyone that Mary Weiland gave us all chocolates.
Yes.
Yeah. She is nuts. I love her.
Which I am not going to eat.
No? Why?
I don't know what they're fucking putting them in our pockets with dope. No, I'm trying not to eat chocolate.
Was there a little note that said, "Welcome to the world of heroin"?
Yeah.
In here?
They frightened me.
I ate one.
Are they good?
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, exactly. If you make it out the front door, maybe I'll regret giving mine.
I should be peaking soon.
These are really good chocolates. We just talked to Mary Weiland, who's, Scott Weiland's ex-wife from SDP.
I was listening.
Okay. Did you hear the heart monitor part?
No.
That was a fucking reveal today.
They were her and Scott would speedball, and she was afraid, like any good health-conscious speedballer will do, that her heart was going to explode. So they put a heart monitor on, and she would just watch her heart tick.
And 911 on speed dial.
Whoa.
And a Gatorade and a power bar. And she was set.
That's intense.
Yeah. And that's coming from Belladonna.
I know, right?
Well, you deal with a lot of the same kind of people that she was dealing with. I mean, and people in porn are very much like the rock. I mean, they kind of intermix. I mean, that's every rock star's dream is to date somebody who's, does adult films.
In the industry.
Yeah.
I like to call it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The business, yeah.
How, I mean, obviously in the business, it's kind of, drugs are prevalent. I mean, is it rampant?
Well, in my early career, yes. I'm sure it is still. I just don't see it.
Did you kind of cut that out, or did you slow down?
I did cut it out, although I was dabbling in drugs before I got into the adult industry. It's just when I got into the adult industry, they were everywhere.
I bet.
What year was that?
Almost 2000.
2000.
Yeah.
What got you in? Did you come? Because some girls go to L.A. because they want to act and they get sidetracked into porn, and some girls go there because they see porn and they go, "That's what I want to do, and I got to go to L.A. to do it." Did you get in because you wanted to get into it?
I got into it. I came to LA for it, but I was already nude dancing in Utah. And
you were in Utah. Great.
And a girlfriend called me one day from LA and said, "Do you want to come out and do this?" I said, "Sure." So I was out the next day.
You'd never think that because Jenna is not really doing movies anymore, right? You are the biggest name in the business. You wouldn't think that person would come from Utah.
Yeah.
Oh, why not?
Utah. Yeah, okay.
So,
you're right.
Mormons? You grew up around Mormons?
I was Mormon for 15 years. Yeah.
Now it's just more men.
Exactly. Much better.
Fuck, we need a snare drum here. That's beautiful.
All right, so you're Mormon, and which is, I guess, I don't know much about the Mormon religion, but I know it's really...
It's not fun.
It's very strict, right?
Why,
Yes.
what's the biggest problem with the religion?
The rules. I don't like rules. I like to make my own.
What do they like? How do they look at sex compared to like Christianity or other?
It was basically just for creation of a child, and
That's what I think it should
masturbation was looked down upon.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Yeah.
What are you supposed to do with all that
your
poison? Got to get rid of the poison, though. What the fuck? It doesn't make sense.
So you were raised in a religious household?
Very religious, yes.
Okay, your dad does what? Like,
My dad was a bishop 3 times. Yes. And,
Damn. Does he support what you do?
Oh, come
you know, he's the only one in my family that doesn't really want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Do you guys talk at all or no?
We do, and there's been times where he's like, I've heard the girls said you were on TV and you won some awards. I'm real proud of you. Like, that's as far as it goes, and that took years. So
yeah, I won an award for La 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 La. Not listening. I am not listening.
It's pretty funny though, because both my mom and dad were not religious at all growing up. 2 weeks into their marriage, missionaries came to their house and somehow convinced them.
Huh.
So they were wild.
Wow.
Yeah,
really?
None of them were religious.
Your mom cool about it?
My mom has her issues with porn, but
Sure.
she's cool with me doing it.
Right.
She's like, I understand now, but she could care less for porn.
Right.
You, because it's such a weird, like, you always hear the preacher's daughter, like, oh, because they're the rebels. Like, what is that? What made you kind of go, I want to do this? How did you go from being the daughter of very, very religious people to rebelling kind of this far?
I don't know if I'm pretty sure it had something to do with the religion. I just didn't understand why why I had so many rules.
Hey, some girls smoke cigarettes to rebel, others.
Well, I mean, I think if it wasn't porn, I would still be a very sexual person.
Yeah.
I mean, I loved sexual attention.
Well, so you move out to L.A.
God damn, to hear a girl
I know.
like that say that.
A girl who means it.
Yeah,
It's really
I know.
nice.
She ain't bullshit.
Hot and she means it. And fuck.
You move out to L.A. and you do your first porn, right? How much did you get for that? I always love hearing that.
It's funny. I got into porn and I was like, okay, I'm only going to do girls because I was nervous. I didn't know. I had never seen a porn.
Right.
Here I am going to do porn and I'm like, okay, only girls at first. And they're like, you have way too many tattoos. You're never going to get work. And so the first scene I did was a boy-girl. I don't know if I'm allowed to say.
Oh, yeah, anything you want.
Anal.
Anything you want.
Anal,
That was the
Okay,
first.
okay.
That's how you started?
First scene ever. I'd never even done anal
Wow.
sex in my entire life.
Talk about jumping in the deep end of
Yes.
the pool.
I think I got paid $1,600, which isn't much, actually, for a first time.
Let me tell you, you would never done anal before.
Never.
Not even in your private life,
Not
honestly.
even. I tried once, and it was like the tip, and I was like, oh, no.
Holy shit, now, is this film available?
Yes.
I want to see this.
You can see how
I wanna
it was.
see this so
This should
bad.
be the biggest selling porno of all time.
It's a virgin anal fucking movie. Come on.
And it says it on the box cover, yeah.
Does
Yeah,
it?
but half that shit you don't believe.
Yeah,
usually.
I know.
Well,
that's
yeah,
true.
I know, but this
In this
guy
case, I believe it.
specifically, I mean, I went there, it wasn't scheduled for boy-girl anal. The director was real good. He was like, do you want to have a glass of wine? I was like, sure, I'm 18.
Loosen up.
And he's like, so, are you sure you don't want to try the anal? And I'm like, I don't want. And
Here,
he's
have
like,
another glass of wine.
I'll give you an extra $300. I'm like, my agent's not here. I'm like, okay.
Who was the guy? Who was the guy? You had to
Thankfully,
sing
it
with?
was Chow Ming. The actor. Very little known porn actor.
Lexington Steele called out sick. We have the Asian fella.
Yeah, officially, you
was-
still haven't done anal.
It wasn't like, luckily for me, it was like a really slow. They were very careful with me.
Really?
Yeah. I think if I didn't have that, I probably would have never done it again because you need to ease into that.
Can you tell in the movie, like, do you make some expressions that are kind of like,
you know what? I don't. I haven't seen it for a really long time, so I don't remember for
Can
sure.
we find that anywhere?
It's called Real Sex.
I know Danny's
R-E-E-L or R-E-L?
REAL.
Real Sex.
Real Sex with Bill Whitrock, and I think it's number 13. I could be
Bill
wrong.
Whitrock.
31. There you go. Oh, it's awful pictures.
No,
Are these the
great
pictures of it?
Oh my God.
Don't worry, they're great pictures.
Like you can see all the baby fat.
Oh, that's adorable.
I was so excited that someone wanted to see me naked. You have no idea.
Really?
Yes.
Are you kidding?
I did not grow up I was never I would always wish that guys would look at me and all that, and no one ever did. And
Well,
they look at you now.
So
That's
this is the most amazing part of that story for me is that you had never seen a porno when you actually went. So what was the leap? Like you were dancing, you said I wanted to dance.
Yeah, I was nude dancing in Salt Lake.
And what made you say I want to go to adult films when you hadn't watched them or
it wasn't like I was going after it. It was the girl calling me saying, "Oh, I'm in LA. I'm doing this myself." Okay. I knew her, and it just sounded exciting and new. I want to go to LA. Ooh, what's this? And modeling, fun, you know, like. I just didn't even think too much about it. I just did it.
And you were 18 when you did your first?
Yes.
And how old were you the first time you actually just hooked up with a guy?
14.
14? Okay, so you had 4 years.
And I was promiscuous.
Yeah?
In those 4 years. It wasn't. I don't think it would be a big shock to those who knew me.
Hey, Belladonna's cool.
Yeah, it's like it's amazing.
I like
to me.
this Belladonna.
It's an amazing leap for me from like a really religious to being so comfortable doing that.
Why would that be a leap?
But it is a very kind of like, that story. Kind of.
I'm not surprised. It's almost like you've heard that story before. It's like almost the reason why.
I just hadn't heard it coming from because Utah and Mormons, it's like such a It's kind of a mystery to most of us. You just hear about they're really strict out there, and I don't know much about their religion. It wouldn't surprise me if it's Christian.
There's some guy that's going to be next to God. How's it go again?
Well, they believe that, you get
What's
your...
his name?
I tried not to listen too much. I mean, literally, it's funny because when I did go to church, I would beg my girlfriends that weren't in the church to come with me because it was so boring. Yeah. And then rumors started that I was a lesbian.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm kind of bisexual.
You know what I hear? The Amish give great blowjobs. True? I don't know.
But it's a regular guy that's now going to be next to God.
Right.
Die.
They get their own kingdom.
How's his name? Help me out.
Yeah, is it Joseph Smith? No, I don't know.
Something Smith.
It is something Smith, yeah.
Joseph Smith. Yeah.
Joseph Smith,
Yeah.
right. Okay.
Old Joe Smith.
And you're dancing like a lot of at Club Rouge, which is where? In Long Island? It's Maspeth, Long Island. Do you guys know that place?
That's Queens.
No, Maspeth is
Queens. Queens?
Yeah, that's Queens.
Yeah. Oh, what a dope.
My Bubba lives there. I don't want to come down to see Belladonna.
Yeah. There's one other thing I want to ask you. Political correctness. This sounds crazy when you're talking about porn, but it's affecting everybody. Like the radio world, they're sick of us talking about. But what has changed in the porn world with this whole political correctness thing? Like you said, when you first started in porn, there was a lot of drugs, and the girls were on drugs. It's obvious when you look at older porn tapes. What other things have come to your business as far as political correctness goes?
Oh, I don't know.
More testing?
Well, I encourage that.
Well, yeah, that's a smart thing.
I'll tell you what, when I first started doing porn, there was only testing for HIV, which was ridiculous. Well, I mean, I'm happy about that one, but there's so much other stuff that goes around. Why not test for that, too?
Yeah, what about lonely old chlamydia?
I think I've had that a couple times and didn't know it.
It's funny because guys don't know it.
No.
Girls know.
I was pissing and it was really uncomfortable. You want to talk about unpleasant?
Were there a bunch of men around?
Yeah, I couldn't get rid of the erection. No, I was peeing and I called Dr. Steve because I was in a relationship at the time and I had strayed. And it was burning, but there was no pus.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I'm like, could that have been chlamydia? I don't know what it was, but I took some stuff and it went away.
Good old Dr.
Tee-hee. All better now.
Dip your dick in some of his wine. That'll cure anything.
Wow, you got some nice boobies.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, very nice.
That's so. How'd you get that? You're good.
He's the fucking best.
Oh my God, I'm so shy.
It's good. You're natural there, right? It's all natural.
No, yes, I'm still all natural.
Yeah, that is fantastic.
Well, good for you.
Wow. There's no need to fucking distort beautiful tits.
That's one of for my production company when I direct. I only hire girls that are all natural.
Yeah.
As far as boobs go, I can't.
We call it the ka-choom, ka-choom. When the shirt comes off
and it bounces,
and it gives that natural bounce, not just sticking out of fucking.
No, I agree.
Cockeyed fucking nipples. Isn't that horrible?
Yeah.
No.
It's a shame you see girls.
Shit,
now you're naked.
You.
Oh, good God!
Wow.
Oh, I remember the day.
You have a nice
Look at how
shirt.
small my butthole was.
Yeah.
I always look at it and I'm like,
so big, so fast.
It's so tight.
Holy shit.
Oh my God, it's so funny.
Is that your first one?
Really?
That was my first movie.
That
oh my
is
God.
Sexy shit.
That was that was before the Invisalign too.
That space between your teeth is ridiculously
You like
sexy.
it?
Yeah, it's very cute.
It's a little bit smaller than it used to be.
Yes.
Oh my God, it's so cool.
We're watching just a little blowjob scene.
I got better. Well, it's pretty good though.
This was your first one on film
That was
right
my
here?
first one on film. Yeah.
Now, that's your first one on film.
Yeah.
Wow. I'll see you. Jesus Christ.
I think if you like to please,
Jerking
it shows.
off right
The eyes. This is the great part about that. It's like it looks like a real girl enjoying it. It's not like it doesn't look like there's a rifle being held to someone's head. That's fucking really sexy.
Or so is the rifle.
I'm not saying that doesn't have a place.
I was making love to it.
Yeah, you really were.
You are sucking that cock. That is amazing. That is a really good blowjob.
And it's nice to have a girl in who's not like doesn't mind her clips being up, because we had a couple girls come in there.
Doesn't like it?
Well,
yeah, like they freak out about it.
I think that's what I was getting at with the political correctness. Just some of the girls that do come in here, they're taking themselves way too serious now.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, man.
No, and
when you say porn star instead of adult film star, they get really mad. They walk off our show.
But are they like contract girls, or because
we've had the best of the best.
We call them fuddy duddies.
Yeah, because I think a lot of girls like myself who do gonzo type porn, you don't care what you're called.
Right.
Yeah,
you're just fun.
That's what you're doing.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
Fun girl.
That scene is fantastic.
I'm so glad because although I was a lot. I wasn't as shy in that one because there was just two guys there, but the more people were on set, I was a little bit more timid at
a little more
first.
shy.
Yeah.
You're fuck, what was I going to say?
Technique?
No. Yeah, it really is applause worthy. No, I had a question. I forgot what it was.
That is
I guess that tends to distract a person.
Yeah. None of us have fucking
That's a really loving
blowjob.
blowjob. That's fucking, you don't see that.
And that was the first one to ever be inside my
now
butt.
he's licking your pussy.
Here we go.
Uh-oh. What's going to happen now?
You know what I hate is when I don't like the way guys in porn eat. Well, sometimes they just...
You know why? It's all about visual things.
Yeah,
sometimes you just want to fucking cover the whole mouth over there like a plunger.
Yes, exactly. Yes. It's hard to cheat to show the viewers. You just want to suck on it.
Right. Some of the shit that feels the best doesn't look the best in porn because it feels great shooting inside a girl.
Right.
And then you got to pull out and do the money shot. Right. And then eating box like that. Of course, you got to fucking get your whole face involved. My face looks like that woman that was attacked by the chimp after I fucking I swear to God. Fucking my eyes are missing. I fucking don't have a nose left.
Let me say hi to Dan in Ohio. They're going nuts. We got Belladonna in studio, and she's right on. We love her. Enter belladonna.com. What's up, Dan?
Hey, what's up, guys? Is Donna?
Can you hear it?
A little bit.
Yeah, he's talking to you.
Hello?
Go ahead, Dan.
Yes, I have one hand on the wheel, and I was just wondering if I could have you say, Dan, shove your fucking face in it.
Dan,
now.
Shove your fucking face in it now.
Oh, my God.
Oh, shit. He hit an abutment.
Wow. I just got a request from my brother-in-law.
Oh.
Look at the requests are coming in. Could you say...
For real.
His brother-in-law requested that you fuck Jim Norton.
Jim, you don't flirt with me too much. I like when you flirt with me.
Ooh. Yeah, these two are friends.
We're friends, I feel like, it's like, she's my friend, I don't want to be a
This
dick.
is my wife's brother for real.
Okay.
We got great friends. I got Joe Curry.
That's a stupid joke. You're his favorite porn star.
Oh, that's nice.
And he just wrote, tell her I love her and I want her panties now. Can we get that done?
Do you want me to give you my panties?
Yeah.
Yes.
For real.
Sure.
I'll make Kenny fucking FedEx the panties down to Philly in a second.
I will do that.
See Kenny off on the side of a road somewhere with panties on his face asleep. Sorry, GH.
I make it to the state line.
I'm not even kidding. I need your panties now.
I have ice cream
done.
cones on them.
Yeah?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, he'll love those.
Okay.
He said that you guys have spent a lot of time together.
I hope so.
Yeah. And we have Big A here, too.
We do. We have a guy, he's a huge part of our show. He's
literally.
Yeah. He's not
here it is. Here it is,
wait,
everybody.
oh my God, look. All right, we'll get to the Big A in a second. For the first time ever.
That was so...
The anal scene. And it's slow. The head is going in. And this guy's doing it nicely. He's not being a piece of shit.
Luckily.
He's kind of pushing it in and pulling out like a real slow...
Not working it like an oil derrick, which would have probably hurt.
Because there are guys that try to hurt the girls.
I was so nervous.
Wow.
Did you, before you did this scene, did you kind of, did you enema or did you do preparation work?
This is the good thing I had a vibrator. Remember that. The good thing is the people kind of just handed me the box. And I didn't really know what it was. Never heard of it before.
Oh,
so I'm looking at the side of the box like,
shit.
how am I going to do that? I know a lot A lot better now today.
You know, a lot more now.
Because I don't know how. I mean, I know many.
She drank it.
Some girls haven't done that.
Really?
Yes. Is that ridiculous? Like, read the directions.
What a great date though. Someone that drinks an enema. Here you go.
That's actually not bad for my personality.
That's fantastic. We want to see your face though.
Yeah, look at me. I'm like,
you're like, wow.
I mean, I definitely remember it being like.
It doesn't look like you're breathing a lot right now. You're not breathing a lot. Look at her. She's not. You're not enjoying it.
I'm like, oh no. I'll tell you what. It took me about a year and a half to really be able to like get off.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so tight for the first year and a half that. I mean, and I was going from that to like
take me
large.
About a minute to get off if I get this fucking video rolling.
I literally would have came as soon as her name showed up on the contract. But this guy is I mean, it's a porn dick, but it's not
massive.
Right. It's not like anything that would kill a girl.
And he's not going balls deep.
No, he was very gentle.
What a gentleman.
To me, that's sexier than a lot of what is done in porn.
You like that?
It's really hot. Yeah, 'cause it's real.
Did you take a Sharpie and draw a line on his penis and go no further than this? Because he is being very considerate.
It's like a chart where the kids draw over every day. You put like a different marker.
Right. Oh, Uncle Paul.
Let's go to Brad in Cleveland. He's got a very good observation. Go ahead, Brad.
Hi, Brad.
So you bastards, you know, I don't understand it. I'm used to hearing just Anthony going goo-goo for the girls, but I got all three listening goo-goo gaga for Belladonna.
This is crazy. That's amazing.
Sexy hot.
Yeah, everyone loves you.
Well, she's so hot and sexy, but it's like a real person because that's what she really is. It's not phony.
I like this is a real girl having fucking sex.
I kind of like her. I like her smile. I like the space between her teeth.
Thank you, guys.
Like the space between her legs, Jesus Christ.
And those fuck me eyes don't hurt either. No. And you're what? Enter Belladonna on Twitter.
Oh, yes. Twitter.com/enterbelladonna.
I'm going to start following you.
Please do. I'm following both of you now. Yeah.
Should we get Big A in here and do something?
Yes, we have a guy who wants to. He just wants to meet. He's been here since 6 o'clock this morning.
He's on Twitter. I think I saw his name.
Oh, did you really?
Well, yeah. 614. I didn't know he was coming in.
He's sweating bullets because he's,
he sweats a lot.
He's kind of a large man.
Yeah. We should have Big A talk dirty to Belladonna.
Well,
terrific.
We had Big A write something up.
Oh, you did?
We did. Yeah, that was Danny's brilliance.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Very good. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, Big A.
Big A, how you doing?
Belladonna.
Hi. I saw you on Twitter.
You did?
Yeah.
Microphone.
What do you come from reffing a fucking football game?
Andrew, this is very dressed up for Andrew. You look
really
good. Your
yeah.
hair is
you dressed up for Belladonna?
Yeah. Of course.
And she's your favorite?
Yeah.
That didn't seem too confident about
No, he's
that.
only frightened.
Oh, really?
Vertical stripes. No.
No, that's the way you're supposed to do it. Horizontal's the bad
no
one.
stripes on him at all.
Oh, all right.
None.
Okay.
Because, it kind of, like, you ever see those maps of what the universe looks like when there's a mass in it that's invisible? It's like a grid with... Yeah.
He's a visual representation of mass.
Yes, mass.
They're supposed to be straight lines, but they kind of push out at times.
What he's doing?
Hey, what is he doing to you? That's not nice.
Don't you choke
He has his hands around.
Well, I was doing that the first day.
God damn, that's your first day on the job.
Bella's standing up, and she's got her hands on the bed, and the guy is standing up behind her, but fucking her, but not brutal.
Oh, he's slapping me.
And he has his hands around her neck.
Wow.
Those are little slaps in the cheek.
I know.
And the breasts are jiggling.
I can't. That's so cool to watch.
The only natural tits move like that.
They're
by the way.
fantastic.
Like I got to tell any of you guys.
Yeah.
What's that guy?
By the way, only natural tits move like that.
Thank you.
Make sure you get that true coat.
What's that guy doing nowadays?
Chris Cannon. I don't know.
Is he still doing movies?
He could be, but I don't. I haven't shot with him since then. I think.
Are you doing? Now you're smart. She's one of the really smart performers because you do have your own company.
Right.
And you're in charge of your own stuff, which is
Right.
the way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Are you doing still all stuff, or are you only doing girl stuff now?
I do boy girl and girl girl. I do
Oh, you
one
still
every
do?
other month, and
Oh,
sometimes
okay.
I do one with both.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Andrew,
what do you got, Andrew?
Actually, one of
Oh, look at me. Yeah.
Oh, he's so cute.
He's very shy.
He brushed his hair and everything. Look at you.
And don't ask for her panties; they're mine.
Yes.
Okay.
I can have mine if you want.
I can't leave here without her panties.
I'll pass on that, Jimmy.
Okay, so what do you want to say to Belle? What are you doing? First of all, tell her what you're doing.
should I ask questions first? Or?
Holy shit, you wrote something down?
Can we see your handwriting?
Quickly turn it around. It looks like something I saw in Forensic Files last night. Holy shit.
That is the writing they find. It's the next clue for where the next body will turn up.
Yes, look at it. Holy shit.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Okay, good. What did you want to ask Bella? We told Andrew because he's going to meet her. He's going to be nervous. So, like, Danny said, why don't you write up a list of questions for Bella and she can ask her.
The first question is, do you rather direct or act in movies or both?
Both.
Oh, one-word answer. Nice.
Well, he gave her kind of multiple choice.
Yeah, it was kind of a multiple choice.
He didn't say follow up or show will work. Good question.
Okay, question number 2.
Right. I think
it's not like that. She makes it deep. She's beautiful. It's fair.
Why do you like doing black guys so much?
Why do I like doing black guys so much? Because they're sexy.
Oh, boy. Sorry, Aunt. you just lost Aunt. But Jimmy and I will continue the interview.
Watching this. The first one.
You didn't lose Aunt. Aunt would turn into the cuckold of family. Aunt would actually go, I can't believe I'm servicing a black ball.
Do you rather do girl scenes or boy girl scenes?
Both.
Okay.
How about wait? Big A, how about a follow-up question? That's what interviewers do. So you got the initial question, and then you got to do a little follow-up on your own, or read the next question.
Wow. This is Belladonna. This is not just some porn.
Yeah, the biggest.
She's the biggest in the business.
The biggest.
You have her ear.
You have her ear.
Yes.
Oh, her ear.
Yes.
Holy shit. Sorry, Jim.
Yeah,
I heard wrong.
Wait.
Do you know how to squirt?
I do, with the right tools.
Oh, we did that for Big A once.
Big A likes squirters.
Which is the right tool?
Well, it could be fingers. It could be a dick.
Well, anything but your cock, Andrew.
Didn't we have someone spraying Andrew's face once?
To hatch it away.
It was Flower Tucci, I believe.
Yeah, she
You know who?
She got on all fours and went off like a fire hose.
Yeah.
Looked like civil rights footage.
Yeah, kids run through her in Harlem in the fucking summer. So yes, Bella knows how to squirt with the right gentleman friend.
Do you have trouble coming up with amazing things to do on screen that will amaze your fans?
I haven't had any problems so far, but that doesn't mean it won't happen one day.
What do you consider amazing, Andrew? I'll help you.
Oh, that's
Tell
good.
Bella what you've seen her do that you thought was amazing to amaze you as her fan.
Yeah, what did you see that was amazing?
Yeah.
Just always trying, to push the limit and something that's pretty incredible. The time you got fist fucked.
Yes.
Fisting.
Yeah.
You like fisting?
Yeah. I do.
Of course you do.
Now, did you see the clip between Jenna Hayes and myself?
No, I haven't.
Two
I
fists.
haven't the chance.
Wait, two fists and who?
Two fists and me.
Wow.
Well, one in each. But she has small, pretty hands. Well, I think I have some free clips for you guys. I have a bunch of freebies.
Well,
you can watch that now.
Now we're talking.
Yeah.
Now who's in this scene? There's
Alexis Texas.
This is one of my favorite scenes, by the way.
You like it,
oh,
yeah?
dude, discovering Alexis Texas. I know it's not one of
she's
your
awesome.
DVDs, but you're in this DVD.
No,
and
it
it's
is my
fantastic.
DVD.
Oh, your company's DVD.
Yeah, but it's all about her. I love her to
Dude,
death.
she's incredible, and
Her
Bella's
body's
incredible in this scene.
Bella
It's
put
ridiculous.
this guy's cock down to her fucking belly button through her mouth. You went balls deep on that guy.
Well, his wasn't very long, but yes.
Oh, sorry.
You're talking to a room full of guys that think his is long.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Bella.
Oh, no!
Jesus.
Well, you know, for camera.
Thanks a lot. We were all getting along.
Oh.
I would actually apologize for my dick as I was getting undressed. I'd be like, look, you know, it's very cold in here.
I'm not a size queen off camera, but on camera I definitely am.
Shit.
Yeah.
Danny was just handed something. What do we got, Danny?
These are...
I'm not quite sure.
They're my dog tags. I give them away for free.
Really?
For, for my fans. They have, you can go to this website and you get a free clip.
My brother-in-law's going to need one. So.
Yes, I have a handful of them here.
Shit.
I got a
Your brother-in-law's a big fan?
Well, fuck Call of Duty tonight.
The biggest.
Jesus.
I really have to leave here with her panties. That's why I keep saying
You can have them.
I'm not joking.
No, I know you're not.
I have to get them.
Wow.
So this is Jenna Hayes and myself. A couple, well, it must have been like 3 or 4 years ago.
And she's behind you, and she's inserting...
Here's the first one.
Oh.
All right, so the first fist is about to go
some girl play. It's just two girls having fun.
Hey, Big A, why don't you tell the radio audience what's going on?
Yes,
That'd be
explain
great.
what's going on. They can't see.
Yeah, they can't see.
Color commentary.
Color commentary by Big A.
Yeah, take the mic out of the stand.
Big A!
Go ahead, you're panicking. Go ahead.
Yeah, panicking.
Now get over there and tell everybody.
Now, give us a, rundown.
Well,
Okay, actually...
Mike, close to your mouth.
Okay, actually... Bella is figuring her asshole now, and...
Go ahead, please. We're all jerking off, Andrew. This is good.
well, right before this, I was telling her how to put her hand inside of me so that it wouldn't hurt.
Oh,
okay.
Because I prefer girls that don't have fake nails.
Sure, I would assume.
But she did have them, so
she had to be
very careful. You need to be very careful, yeah.
Go ahead, and then you got to make your hand like it's a shadow puppet of a
basically.
Whack, whack.
Big A, go ahead.
Belladonna is slowly guiding Jenna Hayes' hand into her asshole. And holding on to her hand, and pushing her hand in.
Right.
Wow.
She does have very small hands, by the way.
So that basically is like it's a large.
Does that do permanent damage?
No, I mean, you have to prepare for these types of things.
Okay.
Wow, come on. 2 hands?
2 hands. Now the other one's
Does
going
she
where,
clap?
Big A?
She does a little bit of this.
Big A, what is she doing now? What's going on?
Jenna Hayes is preparing to
well, forget it. It's done now.
Exactly. Jesus Christ, they're on the bus going home.
Everyone came. It's done.
So she's preparing to what? Jenna Hayes just did what?
Started 2 hands into her asshole.
Wow. No, she doesn't have 2 hands into her asshole.
No, dummy. One in each.
One in the and the other in the ass.
And she's kind of going,
yeah.
Not that deep. Yeah, she's just moving.
That looks like she's knitting.
It does, actually.
Thanks.
You know, what's so great about Jenna Hayes is that she has such a filthy mouth, but she doesn't look like she would say the things that she says.
Really?
Oh, I don't know why I didn't have the audio up.
Stretching in your ass like that? Yeah, you fucking slut. You like to have all your holes felt, huh? Dirty little bitch that you are.
Yeah.
Huh? Oh my god. You don't even care what slut you are, huh? You just fucking want it, huh? I do. You just want it pounding in your fucking holes.
Oh, God. I know you want my leg up, but it's just the cum that's so
Jesus.
I'm shocked.
That's
astounding. We're all speechless.
God.
It's like a magic trick.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That was the first time I had ever done that.
Like this, Bella.
Really?
I want you to come from both my fucking hands, fucking you like
Does she
this.
pull out a rabbit at the end?
I love it.
Surprise.
I love it. Wow, look at that.
Wow. That was so unreal to look down and see.
That's pretty amazing.
I love it.
Well, that's a long distance from that first dick.
I know, right? Like uncomfortable and
And it's basically, if you see the way you can see like the little bend in the hand, it's basically just a little bit beyond the hand, which I'm sure there are dicks a lot larger than that.
Yes. Very
Again, we sit here emasculated.
Again, not in this room, but
in your fucking cunt, your ass.
language.
Yeah. I have to squeeze really tight when I come, so that's why I'm like, my legs are that way.
Oh, yeah. Clench your muscles.
Yes,
Good.
I love that.
Show me what a fucking
He's got it, and down he goes at the 5-yard line.
2 for 3 years. Huh? You fucking whore, take it. You feel good? Does it feel good? I'm trying to DP you with my fist. Just like a guy would.
And that really felt good.
Yes.
Goodness gracious! Of all the dramatic things I've ever seen!
Yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah, I can feel
It's all about the way you do things, you know, I
your
think.
pussy clenching on my fucking hand. Huh? You fucking
She has a vibrator on her own
fucking
clit.
whore.
And I had to use my own fingers.
Did you like her talking to you that way?
I do. I love
like
her
this.
dirty mouth. Like, oh,
Huh? Fill every one of them up.
she's so good at dirty talking.
Yeah, she's pretty good. She keeps going.
Yeah.
A lot of times you peed her out and go, I don't want to keep her
There's
peeing
nothing
myself.
worse than when you're like, yeah, do you like this shit? And they're like, yeah. And you're like,
Pussy.
happy to hear it.
Did I ask you if you like this shit?
How much on a scale from 1 to 50?
Come over my fucking hands.
Kevin got confused. He thought you said, while you're up there, can you tie my tubes for me? No, Kevin, that's not what she said.
Yeah. What, are you getting close? Fucking slut? You're gonna come all over that hand.
It take a while to come.
Yeah, come
Yeah, but that's because it's real.
That's
Right,
okay.
I need to
We
work.
can wait. Don't worry
to
about it.
work.
No rush.
What else are we going to do today? It's okay.
That's why I love you for it. Come on, take it.
You like that, Big A?
Take it like the fucking slut that you are.
Mike, what, Big A?
Are you gonna let this pretty girl make
Yes,
you fucking
I like
come?
it very much.
Are you going to, well, do you have a hard on right now?
Oh, Jesus.
No hard on?
Me. Come for me.
Oh, this might be it right here.
Come for me. Yes. Yes, come on. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Yes.
I love the way she uses them.
Wow.
Now, Andrew, is that a scene? What would you do if you were watching this scene alone?
Okay. Oh, my God. Which one should I take out?
Kill a hooker.
Bite a small animal. What would you do if you were watching this alone?
That's what anybody else would do. Jerk off. I guess.
Okay. So you like the
Wow, look
hands
at
are clean.
that.
Both hands
hand
clean.
comes
That's
out
sexy,
clean.
Phil. That's really sexy.
Ta-da.
Both hands perfectly clean.
Oh, well, you got to
I gotta clean them off.
Of course you do.
That's the best part.
Wow.
So now, Andrew, you've seen the double fisting, and did you have other questions you wanted to ask?
Yes.
What's the name of that movie, by the way? A lot of people want to know.
Oh, God, that was Fetish Fanatic. Oh, no, that's not in my movie because obviously it's fisting, so I can't put that in my movie. That's only on my website.
Wait, you can't do fisting now?
You can, but it's been prosecuted in the past, and so...
That's what I mean by the PC thing, by the way.
Right, yeah. There's a lot of stuff that I'm told not to do to be safe, but like you can see, I can put it on my website.
So what's the rule is if you do it in a DVD and mail it out, like Max got in trouble that way, and I think Staliano
That it's
got
considered, I guess, trafficking.
Considering like who picks it up and maybe a mom and whatever finds it in her son's room and finds it obscene.
Hot.
But
Right.
on your website, it's safe.
Right, so far.
Okay, well, it should be.
Yeah, I mean, I hope it stays that way.
Exactly.
Everyone
so far.
having fun in this scene.
So it's enterbella.com. and
Enterbelladonna.com.
They can see that scene there.
Right.
Sure.
And it's under Fetish Fanatic too, so they go there.
Big A, what else you got?
Dropped his papers.
Just dropped his papers on the floor.
I'm so glad you like that. That makes me happy. Good. Alexis Texas is
Me
unreal.
and my chick, very big fans
Awesome.
of yours.
Oh, good.
She's actually
Great.
quite jealous that I'm here. And
Why'd you have her come? Was she working?
Dude, you know what? I didn't even tell her. I forgot.
Go ahead, Big A.
Big
Another
A.
question.
Close right on the mic.
Yeah, please.
We can barely hear you.
Actually, I don't have any more questions. I had the other things I was told to write.
Okay.
I was told to write.
Yeah, very sexy intro.
By the neighbor's dog.
Way to tear down the wall there, Big
A
A.
wonderful David Berkowitz reference that was.
Jesus.
Now, what did we ask you to write? What did Rocky ask you to write?
Write the ideal porno with Belladonna.
If you did a porno with Belladonna.
Yeah, if I did it.
Oh.
Okay.
It's almost like Voss doing that acting.
With Chaz Palminteri?
Yes, with Chaz Palminteri.
Wait, so what is this? This is Big A doing porno with Belladonna?
Yes.
Okay. So what's the name of the movie?
Actually, I didn't.
All right. How about Bella's Nightmare? I'm kidding you.
Okay. All right, this is if Big A was doing porno with Belladonna.
And get right on that mic.
Yeah, go ahead, Big A.
Got to get right up on it.
Okay.
Yeah, so we can all hear.
Guess it begins. We meet in a bar and begin talking and hitting it off and getting friendly. And
what year do you meet in this bar? 1950? And I'm an investigator, see? She was a lovely dame. She had a gap in her teeth. We hit it off.
Nice pair of stems.
We begin hitting it off.
Hitting it off.
I ask if they had pretzels. They say no, they only have nuts.
I know.
We meet at a bar, but they only have the dinner menu. I'm sorry, I apologize. We asked you. Andrew's trying to not be a piece of shit. He's trying to write actual scenarios. My fault. Go ahead, buddy. I apologize. That was disrespectful.
Then we go to a local hotel, and
was that one right after we hit it off, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And
you forgot to mention you take the subway to use your Metro card. Jesus Christ, what happens? I asked the cabbie for a receipt. He says the machine is broken. I say I need it for tax reasons. Fucking lunatic.
Then what happened?
I'm sorry. We're all getting the sexual tension here. I'm just trying to relieve it. Good.
Okay, that's what you're trying to do.
I'll accept it.
Yes.
Fair enough.
You earned it.
Okay, Big A rules.
Okay. We go to a local hotel and begin kissing and doing some foreplay.
What kind of foreplay, Big A?
Actually, he had that. Licking and sucking my nipples.
My nickels?
I'm sorry.
Licking and sucking my nickels.
That's why he is Jewish.
Oh my God. Go ahead, Big A.
Go ahead. Let's say
Big A
nipples.
exclaims.
I know.
And then Big A says,
Let me have a Diablo sandwich of Dr. Pepper.
I put my stack of dimes in her. All right, God.
This is great iced tea.
Guys, so she's licking and sucking your nipples.
No, I'm licking and sucking.
Oh, her nipples. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Very good.
Then slowly going down to her pussy and clit.
and clit.
Yes.
As opposed to the clitless pussy.
Yes. Well, everyone knows that because she travels, she carries them separately. That's the way it works. It's the whole new carry-on rules. It's very annoying.
Safer that way.
Yeah,
it's
much
like
better.
the president and vice president not being in the same place at the same time.
Apologize. Good.
Yeah, sorry. Keep going. Yeah.
Then I give her pussy a lot of attention.
What? Play Monopoly with it? What are you doing? What kind of attention?
Some attention.
Get a little detail.
Well, lick and suck her clit.
Vulva.
and
Penis.
fuck her pussy.
Our anus.
Was that supposed to be sexy?
And then she sucks my hard cock.
Oh.
Ooh. Oh,
wow.
Salty of you.
It's hard.
I'm too salty.
No, it's perfect.
Okay,
No,
No, it's good.
Oh. Porno script. You're doing fine.
Yeah.
Now lick my sweaty balls. I'm gonna fuck you in the mouth. Stop talking and start sucking.
Go ahead, Andrew.
And then I would bend her over and fuck her behind hard and fast.
Well, you're bending her over, you're fucking her hard and fast.
Belladonna doesn't know what to say or
The
do.
film doesn't fly off that reel after that and go chicken, chicken, chicken. You're not done.
Well, it's like a really old film. As soon as he starts fucking around the ass, just goes the end. All right, so what happens? You're having sex?
He said,
"Oh yes,
I can smell your cunt."
Oh.
Who are you? Put the fucking lotion in the basket.
Sorry, Andrew, they're kind of giving you the business via sound clip.
a little bit.
Giving you a
All
little
right.
teasing.
So now what happens? You're fucking her from behind.
Then cast the a load of become on her face.
Of becoma? What?
I said blow a load of cum in her face.
But you're fucking her from behind. So how does this happen?
Exactly.
Now run us through, because that's the money shot. This is the big ending.
Right.
So you can't just gloss through it like you did the rest of it.
Yeah, unless
Give
you
us
plan
some
on-
detail. Hey, here's how it goes. You're fucking her from behind. Where are your hands? What are you doing? How do you pull out and spin her around and get it on her face?
Unless you're going to ricochet off the television.
Okay, I'm grabbing hold of her hips, and I pull out.
It sounds like a confession.
And I'm going to ask you to read that transcript back.
Okay, rules. Go ahead. So your hands are on her hips.
And then I pull out.
Okay.
And I flip her over. And she'll suck my cock until I come over her face.
All right, so you should suck in your cock, you pull out. Do you do a little jerk? Is it on her face? Is it in her mouth? Does she then spit it back out? Is it on her hair? Is it one of those like, I'm getting cum on my face? Is it, or is it like,
Yeah, answer that. And also, what do you say as you're coming on her face?
Yeah, good question.
Yeah, thank you, Anthony. Thank you. So where does it go, and what are you saying as you're doing it?
Goes in her mouth. She swallows it.
But what are you saying as she's swallowing your goo?
Take my cum, you bitch.
Show me how you suck a guy's cock. The last time I'm going to ask you.
Why so mean, Andrew?
Holy shit.
And then someone just writes, that's all, folks.
They were just hitting it off at the bar.
Yeah, you have a nice chat.
You're all nasty.
Get all nasty.
Yeah, take that cum, you communist. Why so mean?
Holy shit. Why the anger, Big Ed?
Yeah, what happened? You guys are having a good time. Now she's a bitch.
Are you trying to be mean to her, or are you just trying to be dirty and dominating?
Yeah, trying to be dirty in a dominating way.
And now that the act is over, where's the ideal place that you would bury her?
If this case isn't solved in the first 48 hours.
Right.
Are you nervous talking to Belladonna?
Of course. Big fan, right?
Yeah. We have one of our interns, by the way. Which one of the creepy interns in the red shirt just keeps peeking through the curtain?
You want to?
Ghoul.
Yeah, he just wants to see, I guess, if anything action in here that he's missing.
Oh, hey.
Yeah.
Hey, ghoul. What are you doing? Were you peeking through the crack
His face
of the curtain?
your face is beet red.
I know, I'm nervous. No, I wanted to see how much he was sweating as he was reading that.
That's why Belladonna's in studio and you want to see
And you
Andrew
want to see
sweating?
the back of
Well, I
Andrew's
was
head.
listening to make sure she still had her clothes on. As soon as they were coming off, I would be standing there permanently. I was just checking in.
Oh, okay.
Making sure.
Are you nervous?
Oh, man.
Nah.
He just 10 seconds ago, he just said he was. Did he just say he was nervous?
Yeah, he did.
Because
He's a compulsive liar, guy.
No, that's the sign of someone that's nervous. They don't know what the fuck they're saying
Are you nervous?
anymore.
Yes. Are you really nervous? No, not nervous at all. Why?
What are you saying?
I don't know why I'm red.
What is that? You kind of look like you wet your head and went in reverse in a convertible 180 miles an hour. It just kind of... I'm not saying it's bad. It's just never seen anything quite like that.
This kid loves being here. Loves this fucking
Does he?
show.
He does,
Oh,
right?
he fucking enjoys the hell out of it. I don't know what he does for the show, but I know he enjoys it.
Intern.
Doesn't do much.
What do we ever know about that?
All right.
They come in, they freeload around for a while. We sign a paper that says they could fucking
they
get a
got
job, I
credits or
guess.
something, and you never see him again.
You don't see him again.
No.
In the paper or in a fucking
then they come up to
MSNBC special on pedophiles.
then they come up to us at an appearance 10 years later, remember me, and we go, yeah.
No, we don't, though.
We make believe.
I intern for you. What are you doing now? I sell cars. Worked out well.
Farther than most of them went.
Well, they have radios in them.
So you just want to just make sure Andrew wasn't. It had nothing to do with wanting to see him.
No.
Well, I was told this morning I had to babysit him, so I wanted to make sure he was still...
Who told you he's a big boy? Who told you to babysit him?
Eric told me to watch him all day.
What happened to you, Rock?
What happened to her?
No.
I said, Big A is here early. You are to attend to his every need. I never said he had to be babysitted.
Babysat.
Babysat.
Yeah.
Babysitted it.
Yeah.
What would the virus say to Belladonna?
Come on.
Oh, my God. We don't have enough time for that.
That's our comedic character that he does. This channel is called The Virus, so we...
Where are you going? You got a question for Belladonna?
Yeah, do you want to say something?
Are you a big fan of Belladonna?
That look was so telling. If you saw his eyes...
No, you know what? I was just...
Where were you just looking?
I was just looking at her.
No, where on her? I saw you.
I don't remember.
You looked straight at her ass.
I was actually curious because they have a video of her with a tranny, from what I heard.
Wow.
Oh, what terrible video is this? What exact video?
On Spankwire, I was reading. So if you want to look at,
What is that, one of those free porn sites?
I don't know. I just saw it in instant feedback. I was like,
it's free porn sites. You can't tell me.
It's linked to Drudge.
Yeah.
Yes, Spankwire.
Who's the tranny?
I have no idea.
Probably Carol.
Carol
from Brazil.
Oh, a Brazilian tranny. Those are the most passable.
They certainly are.
And the Thai from Thailand.
The Asians, yeah, forget it. But who likes the Asians?
I can't even tell.
Yeah.
Usually, Asian guys barely got dicks. But
The
we went
lady
through
boys.
that earlier.
Yeah.
The lady boys?
There's something fascinating about lady boys.
Really?
I get the best of both worlds. Yes. If they're the right ones.
Lady boys.
It's like a woman with
the phones are lit. I mean, lit. Let's get a couple questions in.
Now, Daniela had a big one. That was nice.
Daniela?
Mhm.
That Danielle Fox?
Oh, Danielle. That's right. Danielle Fox.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, she's post-op now.
Now she is, yeah.
How does that girl have a cock? What is that?
She got rid of the cock?
She's good, too.
Oh, said that disappointing. Yeah, she's
She got rid of the cock? What a set of tits on that
She's
guy.
fantastic. Yeah, she's
Yeah, but she's got man legs. You can tell when she's doing the squats there.
well, she's a penis. She's
I understand that.
Yeah, Opie, see? See that thing?
yeah, she's actually doing movies now as a post-op.
Really?
Yeah.
Passable?
Yes.
I
mean, she sent me pictures, and I was like,
Of the vag, yeah?
Yes.
What looks good?
I couldn't tell.
I haven't seen the vagina.
Toodly doodly.
She's a pretty rough one, from what I've heard.
Yeah,
I've
she
never
is.
seen her movies.
Wow.
But I hear she's a pretty dominating transsexual.
Got a penis bent like a banana.
That ass is singing opera.
Yeah.
That's you, right?
That's me.
Yeah, you.
Sorry.
Oh, no, it is.
It is. It's wide open. They're having a very rough anal scene.
It did have an opera pose there. Joe in Jersey, we got Belladonna in studio.
Who, by the way, let me just plug, she's dancing at Club Rouge, Rouge's Gentleman Club. It's in Queens, New York, Maspeth, or how you say it? Maspeth. It's Thursday, November 12th, which is tonight at midnight. And then tomorrow, the 13th, Friday, there's 2 appearances, 11 p.m. and 1 a.m. It's obviously rare that she's on this side of the country.
Oh, this is going to do real well.
Doing an appearance at a club. Are you actually dancing?
I am dancing.
All right,
and I
so
do a wonderful show.
You're getting the biggest in the business dancing at this club. Just 3 quick appearances tonight and tomorrow.
Very cool. Let's say hi to Joe. Joe?
Hey, guys, Donna, I had a quick question. My wife and I, I started getting her into a couple fingers up in her rear entry. And I
really don't know how to get to like the next level because I just, how do I work it up so that she really is enjoying?
Well, first of all, does she want it?
Yeah, she really enjoys it, but
I always tell girls to get a set of toys that go up in different sizes and to just let them play with themselves for a while they masturbate. And then when they're comfortable with a certain size, then have you do it.
Professional advice on putting a fist up someone's ass.
This should be daytime TV.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sex advice with Belladonna.
I got advice because my girlfriend tried to put a strap on in my butt.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I felt it was, but it was a really small one. But I literally stopped her.
We didn't think the same thing there, Belladonna.
It's funny.
Came to mind.
We had a different reaction.
Yeah, my friends weren't quite as encouraging, but she got a little bit in, and literally got maybe 1/8 of an inch, and I'm like, I gotta shit. So we paused, and I actually had to run into the bathroom and sit on the toilet and fart. I was so fucking humiliated. I turned the water on full blast, and I was like, and she's like, "Are you all right in there?" I'm like, "Yes." I'm just I was like, I felt like I let the team down.
Oh, no.
You did.
I know I did. So I don't know how anybody, male or female, I just couldn't. Were you ever afraid? It's a childish, but it's this weird instinct. You're afraid you're going to shit, and then like they say, just get past that, and you won't.
I think a lot of it has to do with being comfortable that you are clean.
Yeah.
So if you take, if you prepare and you know that you're clean, I have a very strict regimen that I do. Then you don't think about it. Exactly.
So are you saying I made a mistake?
Did you clean yourself?
Well, I drank milk and ate a bowl of chili 20 minutes before. I'm like, this is what we need.
Make up your mind, Jim. Am I going to fuck you? You're going to shit.
Let's go to Serge in Canada. Serge, what do you got for Belladonna?
Morning, boys.
Hello?
Hey, Jimmy.
Hey, buddy.
I'm pretty sure on Foundry Music, I could be wrong, there was a picture that you were pregnant?
Yes.
Yeah. Was it planned or did it happen on set?
No, it didn't happen on set. It was planned, and I'm married.
Okay.
The picture of Belladonna pregnant. I think it's myself and her and her husband. Yes, and she looks adorable pregnant. And Steve, it was at the AVN in 2000. I hosted in. Fuck, man, it might have been 2005 or something like that.
I think it was 2005.
And you looked really cute.
Thank you.
Pregnant with a little hat on.
Oh, that was.
All right, how old's your kid?
Almost 5 now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Does she ask questions yet?
Well, yeah, where are you going? What are you doing? But, it's not gotten to the detail yet, which I won't go into detail, but I have a little sister who was 5. Not now, she's in 11 now, but she used to ask questions, and she said, "What do you do?" And I said, "I make movies that only adults are allowed to watch." And she said, "Oh, kind of like what Mom and Dad do in the bedroom when they shut the door." And I said, "I don't know what your Mom and Dad do, but maybe." So I'm not afraid, to be honest, but I know that I'm not going to go into detail, obviously.
Yeah. Right. Did you film any movies while pregnant?
I filmed 7 scenes, all with women. And that's all I was comfortable with for myself.
Sure. Yeah.
But it was such a sexual time of my life, and it was, I myself am attracted to pregnant women. So,
really?
Yeah. And I did actually have 2 girls in porn come to me during their pregnancies and wanted to shoot scenes with me. So I shot with Brianna Love, who's a really big name girl, and Bianca Purehart. Both of them were in about 6 months pregnant. It was very sexy.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Do you know who I always loved? We had her on the show quite a while ago. I don't even know if she's doing movies. She gave really wonderful oral treats. Do you know Inari Vox?
I do.
She's still doing movies?
I'm not. I don't think so. And I never got to work with her. I've heard amazing.
Yeah, she was lovely. And you got other calls too, I guess. Creepy guys, are they?
Well, let me see. This guy's girlfriend's ass is on your website.
Oh.
Q in Ohio.
Oh, yes.
Hey, what's going on?
Hi.
Yeah, I got to see Belladonna at Fort Wayne about a month ago. It was so fucking awesome. I ended up going to both goddamn shows that night.
Oh, really?
I mean, if you guys get to go down, meet Belladonna, fucking great show. I actually saw Jim like 2 weeks before that. So, like, favorite porn star, favorite fucking comedian. I got to both see you within a month's time, like right on my birthday.
You saw me three months before Bella?
Yeah,
Isn't it unfortunate you didn't see us in the same film? Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be nice for me / terrible for her and sales?
Yeah, so that was fucking great. You know.
Yeah, I remember his
And-
girlfriend. They
Yeah.
got her butt out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Her,
and her tits.
Her tits and ass on the website. It's fucking awesome.
She has great assets.
Well, the thing about you that's really cool is like you're very accessible as far as the way you are with people. It's like people who meet you at an appearance are not going to meet somebody who's distant and really
Right.
shitty. And you know, some people in the business are very jaded, but you don't seem jaded at all by the business.
When people come to meet me, I treat everyone exactly the same because I feel grateful to have people who want to watch my movies. Like I said, I wasn't the hottest girl in school, or I never had that type of attention. So I really appreciate it.
How many dummies from high school right now are just going wide?
Well, I'll tell you what, I dropped out at 14, so I didn't go to high school, but middle school.
Yeah.
But I'm happy that I'm where I'm at today, and I don't have a high school education.
The business ruins a lot of people. I mean, it's a very harsh, unforgiving place. I mean, a lot of people get turned out and sent away depressed and miserable, and it's like very few actually make it to a level where you really legitimately are a famous person, legitimately making a tremendous amount. You know what I mean? It's like the stardom. And there's very few that actually make it to that level.
I have a great support system, and someone who loves what I do. I think that makes a big difference.
Yeah.
You know, having a husband who loves watching you.
So apparently you have a lot of people that love what you do. They're buying the movies.
Well, we should get her out of here.
Yeah,
All right.
we have to wrap up.
Wait, I need the panties.
Oh, yes, I have to take them off, but I have to take my boots off first. Unless you want to cut them off.
Can I film it?
You can.
Meg, we are watching. There's a deep throating of a double dong black dildo that has to be 2 feet long, at least, and you are sharing it with a girl orally.
What the
and
fuck?
both of you
That's
are shoving this
impossible.
down your mouths the whole length. Like,
It's fun.
You're kissing in the middle.
Why am I amazed that you can deep throat? I'm like, wow, look at that.
It took me about 1.5 years to be able to
Get the fuck out of here. That's impossible. There's some trickery.
That looks like a boa constrictor.
That's pretty amazing.
I'd be very, you wouldn't need that much practice. I don't know.
What were you going to say about sucking a cock?
No.
Jim? No. I think I could do that.
Say this is, hey, Kenny, this is for you.
Hi, Kane, this is for you. Kenny? Hi, Kenny, this is for you.
We're watching.
We're the sexiest.
Yeah, what are you doing? There go the pants. Oh, those are sexy. Yeah, little peonies. They're little peonies.
Yeah.
She's rubbing the...
But they are nice and sweaty.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
She's working the
Oh, man.
Oh.
This is normal. I'm going to give it to him.
See, that's,
I'm going to give him during Thanksgiving.
See, that looks good with a little bit of hair down there like that.
Thank you. This is my 7.
That's your winter, is that your winter coat?
Yes. I encourage girls to come with me with hair.
Yeah?
It's rare.
It is very rare these days. That's why. Just want to see something a little rare.
Perfect.
Jesus.
Wow.
You're a good brother-in-law.
I just want to say, after a while, after almost 11 years being in the business, you start to... Things get boring, so you want to keep it fresh and exciting.
So you grow the hair in sometimes to keep it just different.
I do. I love, smelling a girl's bush and just rubbing my face, and it's nice and soft, opening it up, and then...
She stunned me for a minute. Like, I felt like I was stunned. I was staring at her like, wow.
I typically don't like hair at all, but on you it wouldn't matter. Like, I wouldn't care what you came to the table with. Yeah.
I can understand where you're coming from, because there is such a thing as too much hair.
Too much, yeah.
I got a wig.
I was just going down on it, now I can't find my wig.
This is a good day. I got chocolates and panties.
Yeah, well, don't
What do you
put
like
them
better?
together. Right. Don't put them in the same bag. Someone might get turned off. Very hot. Hits the heater.
Well, thank you guys so much.
Oh, Bella,
I
thank
feel
you.
very
Thank
lucky.
you. My God.
This was great.
What a great time.
What are we promoting? Enter Belladonna.com.
Yes, and follow me on twitter.com/enterbelladonna.
Let's get a lot of followers for Belladonna today.
Yeah, it's
Enter Belladonna.
Yeah, what a hard
on Twitter.
sell that is.
Yes.
Really.
Follow the girl who admits loving anal sex. Good luck. And again, at Rouge Gentlemen's Club, it's in Maspeth, Queens tonight. It's November 12th at midnight, and then tomorrow, Friday the 13th, 2 appearances, 11 p.m. and 1 a.m. And if you need directions or whatever, you can go to Club Rouge New York. That's at clubrougeny.com, or call 718-366-8900. I don't think you're going to have any problem getting people in.
If you need direction, you shouldn't go. Get it?
I think I'm going to this thing.
Oh, you really?
Hell yeah.
I would love that.
Kind of nearby you, right?
I think we went there before.
Did we go there?
Yeah. It's right by the
the UPS
fuck
warehouse.
yeah, okay.
So are you guys going to come?
Oh, yeah. Randy.
I got to make it up to my chick. She's pissed off at me now. So
She's mad that she's not here?
yeah,
Yeah, a bunch of us will be down
Someone's
there.
Here's a little
drive
surprise. I have a little surprise at the end of the show. So
Oh, do you?
yes.
I can only imagine.
I love surprises.
Really?
Radio people in the audience get blowjobs.
Maybe.
Go!
Andrew? From him, I mean. So you got to meet Bella. She was very sweet to you, and you enjoyed it?
Yeah.
Yes, very much.
Hey, do we have any freshness baggies? I want to keep the freshness in.
Oh, yeah, you want to keep that.
Yeah, don't let it. Don't let it.
Yeah, man, I need one of those. What is it?
It's
for
like-
the fucking vegetables.
What?
You know, those freshness bags. Keeps the freshness inside.
Yeah, the freshness
Treat that thing
seal
like the Declaration of Independence.
Yeah.
If it hits the air, it's going to lose its value. And
That doesn't smell like your lunch, though, does it, Danny? Danny's got a bag, but he always eats
Christ.
fucking
Nah,
horrible
fuck
omelets.
that.
yeah, you don't want that.
I ain't using a bag. I need one of those freshness bags.
I like how now you're talking.
Seal in the I ain't using a bag, right. Condoms are for sissies, that's my motto.
That's it.
What are they called? Like.
How do we have Ziplocs here?
Yeah.
For panties, just in case.
I don't want to touch. I don't want to touch her just because I don't.
touch them.
No, I don't want to get my shit on here.
Well, that's true.
It's like a crime scene.
It really is like evidence.
Well, I'm going to leave a bunch of goodies here with you guys.
Wow, I
so.
didn't think I was able to get this
We
done
have to
today.
actually wrap the show up.
Yeah, we got to get.
They said we have, it is 10:32. They said we had 10 minutes left, and that was about.
no, we're good.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
If we wrap up now,
Just say
it'll
we
be
gotta
perfect.
go.
Yeah, we gotta
Yes.
go. Fuck off.
Fuck off.
I got to pee.
Do you got to pee?
Yes, I do.
Oh, is it pee or do you got
It's pee, yeah.
pee? Thick white stuff.
All right, why don't we get out of here? Belladonna, this was a pleasure.
Yes.
Man. Come back and see us, please.
Very
Thank
cool.
you so much,
Very
guys.
cool.
Next time we'll film an orgy.
Hey, can I have one of those dog tags?
You can definitely have
All
one.
right. Fucking jerking off
Yeah,
tonight.
there's one for each of you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And then I left you with one movie, so I don't know who's getting that.
Danny's
shit.
a fan. He requested that
What
you.
is it called?
Oh,
is that Cock Happy 3?
Yes.
Oh, I always wondered what happened after Cock Happy 2.
And now you can find
Electric
out.
Boogaloo.
I guess we're back tomorrow.
Yes,
Friday.
we will be.
Yes, we
Friday's
will.
show's going to be big, too.
Today
we got
felt
Colin,
like Friday.
Colin Quinn.
Colin Quinn, Patrice O'Neill in studio tomorrow.
Oh, that's a great follow-up to Belladonna.
Yes.
Colin.
Yeah.
You want to see my underwear?
Yeah, two people that make the audience feel like they're being fucked in the ass.
That's your out, Travis. Jesus.